Hello, everyone. This is good enough. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for waiting. We are finally ready to go after a couple of last minute adjustments. But it's here, man. It's the actual start of the campaign. We had our one shot, like, I don't know, like 2 months ago, maybe something at this point. As you can see, we are unfortunately a person down. Only Molly was unable to accommodate schedule wise. She just recently got back into studying, college, and whatnot. It's been really tough, but we hope to have her back in about 5 sessions times. So 10 weeks, and we do this every other week. So actually, it's very possible that she will still have a great impact on this campaign. So looking forward to that. Well, we still have the other cast with us here today to figure out what exactly is the Cult of Azathoth. That is the name of the campaign, and if you do want to do a quick Google on Azathoth, you will find more information. It's an actual thing in this universe, but don't be like, oh, it's gonna spoil everything. Why would I ever do that? Because it really doesn't. It really does not. I've done things. I'm smart. I've tried to keep it spoiler free.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to the Cthulhu Lovecraftian mythology that we will be just entirely. It's going to be all. It's going to be all of it here today, guys. If you don't know anything about it, just know it's kind of spooky. We got our octopus people, and we got our sea creatures. That's why I had the Kraken here rum today, as I think we're all
I
having
just
a
put
little
that
bit.
together. Wow. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Maynard. I think we're all having a tiny bit to drink, so please feel free to join us. Depending on your time zone, it makes you more or less of a degenerate, but we don't judge. We don't judge. We will be doing the introduction here today, and we do plan to be around 3 hours for every session. Just give you guys an idea. And the setting here for this campaign is September of 1928, so about a year after the Depression and 10 or 11 years after World War One. So now we're going to go ahead and introduce our investigators. That's what we call it here in Call of Cthulhu. I'm the keeper, and these guys are the investigators. So first and foremost, Maynard, who are you playing?
I am playing Amos Tolliver. He's a now I wrote the story to you, and I haven't scrolled far enough up in our DM yet, but I'm going to go off memory and say that he is estranged from his family. His family is a very, very wealthy family. There's an oil baron. I think his father is an oil baron. He's a junior, so his father is Amos Senior, and he's estranged from his family for reasons unknown. Has basically cut himself off from that sort of side of things, but he's still well to do because he is a gun for hire, but was previously a preacher, so a very devout preacher turned gun for hire, and that big turn of event happened for Amos was where his wife and did I say son or daughter?
Son.
I forget. Son, wife and son were killed by a party unknown, and now Amos is he's kind of done. He's kind of done with the Almighty. He still thinks he exists, but he kind of thinks he exists to shit on us all. So he's one of those kind of like broken characters, but very much a bit of a gunslinger, pretty good at combat, and is originating from Arkansas. So I'm going to attempt accents.
Arkansas.
I'm so excited.
Arkansas.
Yeehaw.
Okay.
That's right. Yeehaw.
If you know the character Wolfwood from Trigun, I'm just imagining Wolfwood now.
Let's say yes.
Okay.
Everyone here is just like, sure.
Oh.
Okay, let's go clockwise. Feardragon.
Oh, hello. So my character is John Doe, and you might be saying, well, why the name John Doe? Is it shrouded in secrecy? John Doe is a complicated man, but he's a man of very few words, and you'll find similar things going on with his past. You will find very few words to really describe it. He was raised by the Italian mob, and while he has no real memory of his parents from a young age, he was trained in the art of assassination, and keeps his .30-06 bolt action rifle close.
Nice. He has intense gun knowledge.
Yeah. Family's everything to him, and he believes that words are for the weak, and actions are for people who want to get shit done.
Oh, amen, brother.
Amen. That's right. with that.
All right, Livibee, who you got?
Oh, saving the best for last, I see. So my character is Australian, of course, growing up in the outback. Didn't know their parents, or her parents rather. So she was raised by the wildlife of Australia and survived infancy somehow. She was known from the age of 10 as Avocado, which she self-proclaimed her own name because she loved eating avocados off a tree and only found out what they were called when she ran into another girl similar age, about 13 at the time, who she became very good friends with. And when she revealed that the berry was named Avocado, she decided to go by that name herself. And that's her nickname, Av, from that she gets called from her family and her friends. Well, her adopted family, because her friend Rebecca, I'll say, her parents actually adopted her from that young age. And then she kind of just went around traveling, trying to find her identity from like the age of 16. And she went to places like Japan and Europe and a lot of places in America. And trying to just kind of discover who she is and what she's kind of put on this earth to do.
So that's your description of you. What about your character?
Oh man, this deep, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so that's all of our characters. They have yet to be introduced to themselves, through each other. And that's where we're going to start. So the start here is that each one of these investigators has been given a letter. Now, side note, Livibee doesn't actually have an official letter that I wrote, but the other two do. But I'll write one up for you too, Livy.
Sweet.
Basically, and I'll send you these on Discord, guys. To each one.
How do you get a letter in the outback? Oh, she's traveling around. Never mind. Excuse me.
I mean, how do you get a letter to someone traveling around in the 1920s? It's even harder.
That's actually really true.
Kangaroo?
Hit me up in my email.
Kangaroo. Her kangaroo friends. In their little kangaroo pockets. Delivery mail to her.
Carrier pigeon.
Or that,
That's right.
yes.
Yes.
Sending a raven.
Yeah, so I'm trying to actually get there. I have not organized everything as I maybe should. Ah, yes, the handouts. So first of all, to feardragon, we have John Doe's letter. And then the Maynarde, we have your letter as well.
Oh.
Amos.
Cool beans. Is that in images or notes?
It's in Discord.
I can't read cursive.
It's in Discord. What is this? What is this magic you speak of?
I was actually like legitimately concerned if you guys wouldn't be able to read the cursive.
It's a little bit.
I'm not that stupid.
Well, I'm not that stupid either, but this is very cursive.
That is very cursive,
It's very
actually.
cursive.
I take that back. This is actually a little bit tough to read, but I think I can do it.
Yeah. And Livibee, just as a TLDR here, I'll write you the TLDR of what I figure your character would be written to, basically. Okay.
The letter starts in beautiful cursive. G'day, mate.
Yes. Actually, mute my mic. Loud keyboard is loud.
Whose keyboard? Mine? Mine actually is quite loud.
Mine is. I'm writing.
Okay. This is good content.
Okay, so she got in the TLDR. The reason being that I actually leave you guys your decision to share your letters with each other, so I didn't want to really spoil it by being like, Livy, it has the birthplace and your birth mother's name and your middle name. No, it doesn't. But anyways, So each one of you has been told, this is just collective information, that you should be at the Arkham train station on September, I just forgot it again, on September 15th.
It says 15. Yeah.
Thank you, 1928. So you all have arrived at the train station at noon, I believe it was as well, and are in the train station. That's actually where we just kind of begin.
We all meet here.
Yeah,
Nice.
you all took a same train that had to arrive, the only train that arrived at noon exactly, to the train station, and you start hearing a girl's voice in the crowd start shouting each one of your names independently. So just kind of like, John, Avocado, Amos, like that type of thing.
And someone throws her at everything.
Actually, literally, people are like, stop yelling, and telling her to screw off, and she's actually yelling back occasionally between all the names. John, fuck you, dude, Jesus, okay, Amos, Avocado. Like she's literally doing that. She's hardcore, man. So now it is your decision if you want to hopefully find whoever is calling your name.
Well, I think that's what you want to do, whether to shut them up or otherwise.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't.
And just out of curiosity.
I can't be okay with someone shouting out my name and trying to stay discreet, so I pull out my rifle.
Oh my god. In a
Let's see how
crowded
prepared
place.
ZombieGrub it. I'm just kidding.
It's like, well, I don't want anyone to know I'm a John Doe. That's terrible.
Yeah, can I see if I can find them without them seeing me? Because I want to see what they're doing and see who else. Because I noticed that the other names are being called. I want to see what happens.
Okay. So I guess it would be a sneak attack. Or sneak attack. Please don't attack her.
Sneak attack, damn. That's how I'm gonna. I've got a train to city later tonight, and I think when I go to this party, I'm going to sneak attack everyone that I'm gonna meet at the
So
party.
stealth.
Really popular.
You would roll stealth.
Yes, I think I. All right, I dropped the word stealth into the chat. All right, that's
Did you
That's
drag?
not what I was hoping it would do.
When you start dragging it, dice should appear.
No, the word stealth appears. Okay, I
Nice.
have to grab the numbers.
There you
I
go.
see.
There you go. Yeah, it's a little tricky. Okay. So it's not that hard, really. The kid is kind of like street smart, so she would know better than to be like snuck up on by like random, Joe Schmo, but you're supposedly pretty good at this. So you manage to sneak
Joe
kind of
Schmo,
close to her.
Not a John Doe.
Oh, God.
It's gonna be a long campaign.
That's why you got alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
So you
Yes.
sneak up to her and see that it's an urchin. It's a young girl, maybe like 12 or 13, with mousy brown hair, and she hasn't bathed in a couple of weeks probably. She has torn clothes, and she's carrying a sack on her back and screaming all these names.
I'm just
Probably
gonna approach
ask
her straight up.
Yeah.
I'm going
I'd
face to
probably
face.
ask, are you calling my name? Because my name's not a usual name, I've never met another avocado, so it can't be by mistake.
Get your avocados here.
Yeah, probably someone was like, "Do you have avocados?" And she was like, "No, get out of here." Okay, so let's say Livibee approaches first.
I shake her violently.
Whoa.
What do you actually?
Why are you yelling my name?
Okay. Their first instinct is to go up to someone and just shake them. Yeah, sure.
Livybee's a
we
blast
roll?
at parties.
I don't
bro.
have the best social skills.
That's
Yeah.
true. You did mention that. So let's just say that she's disarmed because she sees you walking towards her, and you look innocent enough. But the purpose is to go up to her and say like, "Hey, I'm one of these people." But then she is pretty shocked when you actually take hold of her, and she actually takes a swing at you because.
Oh my god! But I'm just a
This
short,
person
cute,
turned crazy.
avocado-looking girl.
You're shaking a street kid.
Yeah.
I'd imagine you're lucky you didn't get shanked.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Thanks for saying.
Yeah.
Let's just give her street urchin name, and have her just roll 1d3, or rather, see if it's success. It's a fail. Okay, so even if it was a success, it wouldn't have done much damage. But she takes a swing at you, and you appropriately kind of just are like, what the... But she gets distance between you two, right? And then she's like, what the hell are you doing? Who are you? Is what she asks you.
Who are you? Who am I? I mean...
Who am I?
Who am I? Who are you?
Who am I?
How far into that drink are you?
I woke up to this world an hour ago.
And then I ask, why are you yelling my name?
She's still kind of disgruntled at you, and she's like, what name? Who are you? Which one of those names is you?
My name's Avocado.
Oh. She kind of looks you up and down. She's like, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Do you know this John dude or this Amos fella?
I shake my head and I say, I've never heard of him. Why?
Well, I mean, I got the sack of things that I was paid to just drop off to y'all, and I don't know. I want to get out of here. So she said the person that told me to do this gave me not enough cash to really just like sit around here. So I hope those other people are coming soon. Otherwise, I'm just gonna give this all to you.
Oh God, what is it?
It's a bomb. Amos, John, you gonna do anything?
Yeah, just walk up to her. What you want, kid?
Oh, okay. She looks you up and down, but automatically likes you better because you didn't go up and shake her.
Favoritism.
I'm at a distance from the kid because I have, personal space.
Yeah, and she also likes your accent, so she kind of takes a liking to you and is like, well, hey, mister. You John or you Amos?
I'm Mr. Tolliver to you, kid. What's in the bag?
She didn't know any of your last name, so she just shrugs. She's like, all right. I can't tell you what's in the bag until the other person gets here. So, John! John! John!
Can I? All right.
Pull out my gun.
First, tell me, how difficult would it be to try and like steal the bag that she has?
Feel it.
Steal.
Oh.
It's like the bag is literally in her grasp on her back, so it's possible you could like rip it from her. But as I said, she's actually pretty sneaky herself, so I'd say you have to do like a hard success to successfully do it.
Okay. I think John would probably just still sit back and just watch what's going on, because he overheard all this conversation that other people are just gonna get the stuff, right?
Yeah. He's close enough.
He'd sit back at a safe, like close-ish safe distance.
All right. Well, the kid is not in like the mood to just stick around. All right. Like she was paid to do a certain job and supposedly do it well, but she got better things to do. So after a couple more minutes of just yelling John, regardless of what Avocado or Amos try to do to shut her up, she just goes, fine. Whatever. That dude sucks anyways. Here, take this stuff, and I don't know. I'll see you later. And she hands you the bag and prepares to walk off. Which one of you wants to take the bag and open it?
I'll grab the bag. No, you won't.
She likes the person who didn't take her.
Swing at Avocado.
Yes. Oh God, what's the
I think she likes the person who didn't shake her, so she might go up to Amos just automatically.
Yeah.
If not, if either one of you isn't too eager.
Get the bag.
So yeah, she hands you the bag. It's just a simple, sack, nothing fancy. But inside are just crumpled up notes, a tiny statue, like maybe 6 inches tall, something like that. And I don't know what that is. Non-freedom measurements, by the way. So just like it's like big.
Looks like 15 centimeters.
There you go.
20 centimeters. Thereabouts.
And a book, and the book is by far the heaviest thing in that sack. It's probably like 500 pages. It's it's hardback. even leatherback, probably normal leather, maybe.
So it's a pretty fat sack, is what you're saying.
It's a pretty fat sack. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And this book, the only thing that you can tell off the cover is just that it has a couple weird symbols and isn't in English. So that's what you get upon a cursory glance inside of the sack of goods.
All right. Well, first thing I'm going to do is say, what's your name? Grapefruit? What'd she say?
Avocado, bro.
Okay.
You can call me Av, though.
Av. All right, Av. Let's have a look at this bag. What's all this for this kid? This kid's give us some random bag. I have no idea what's in it. I stick my fist out and give the bag to her because I've just suddenly become wary that I have some strange person's fat sack in my hand, and I would like someone else to stick their hand in there. Like, I don't actually want to look because this is a street urchin. It could be full of fucking manure for all I know.
That's what you're afraid of? I would have been more scared of, like...
I'm in some nice clothes. I don't want to, like, I'm in nice clothes, and I do not want to stick my hand inside this fucking street urchin's bag. So it's all yours.
All right, well, listen, bro. I've been traveling ever since I was a wee kid. I ain't no scared of no manure. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, all right? I can have a look in the bag.
Then by all means, all yours.
Sweet.
Okay.
And then I tried.
So what do you take out first? Or do you just randomly just like shove your hand in and like grab anything?
I'm just gonna grab my hand in and pull the thing that's the biggest out.
Okay, so that would be the tome comes out, which lightens the bag by like most of it basically, except for that statue, which is weighing it down a tiny little bit. But the book is pretty heavy, as I said, pretty big, and as I said, like it's not in English. And should you actually, flip through the pages, you notice that it's a very old book. It's actually kind of almost deteriorating, and it is in a language that you do not recognize, I believe. I don't think you put your language down. I think you put Japanese, actually. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's a language you don't recognize. There are symbols that actually somewhat remind you of the Japanese characters you've seen on your adventures, but pretty sparse and not anything that you can actually connect. There's images that are very detailed, but of things that you just simply don't understand. Backgrounds and drawings of an octopus with a body, things like that you just probably don't think much about, other than like, hey, maybe it's like a kid's book. But what's with all the why is it so old? Why is it so big? And why was it given to me? Basically, is what's going through your head.
Yep.
Should you do anything else?
I'll probably show it to Amos and be like, and then I hand it to him like, here.
I'm just gonna like flip through it and have a look and sort of like raise an eyebrow and just be like, what the, like this old book and this language I don't get it, right? I only know my guy knows English and a little bit of Latin.
He knows some Latin. He'll recognize phrases.
Okay. So
depending on how fast he's flipping through, I guess.
Seeing phrases. Is it enough? Can I do a language check or something? Like, is there enough phrases for me to string something together?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now, let's go into the final boss, which is figuring out this program that I've only just barely touched. Help me out with a...
So, go to skills on your, yourself.
Skills on myself.
Yep. And then you have language, and then go to the one with Latin, and then drag from the numbers. Dice should pop up.
Okay, I have the number here, but it's just dragging the paper around instead of actually doing something. Did I click on the wrong thing?
You should have like a little handy grab icon when you hover over the number.
Right.
I'll give you a handy grab icon in a minute. It's just the icon's not changing. I think I might have the wrong thing open.
Okay,
I clicked on my little token in the top there to get my sheet open.
Right, so you're on Amos Tolliver. Name.
And then you went to skills.
Well, I just had the languages at the bottom.
Do it from the
okay.
skills.
So
Different
go to
tab.
skills,
Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. All right, we got there. All right. And where is language? There it is. And I just throw that number into the screen?
To the left side. It's a box. There you go. We did it. Woo. All right, so you failed. So I guess you haven't had to...
Boy, am I glad after all that I failed. Yes.
You haven't used Latin since your days studying in, like, church, I guess. Yeah, I was going to say church school, and I was like, I don't know what it's called.
Church school. I went to Christian camp.
I just called it CCD, but I don't think it's what it was called.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, you're pretty rusty, and it is really just like cursory glances. So you see that you recognize it, but you don't recognize enough words, especially because it's probably complicated words that you haven't really had to memorize. So you don't even it's Latin, but you don't know what it is. So you're pretty much useless on that front. So.
Rip.
Anything else you want to do?
Well, I just sort of started peering over Avocado's shoulder, looking from a safe distance, but able to see into the bag what she's looking for. And I'm also sort of scanning around because I've been around the block once or twice, and I'm waiting for this other person that she's mentioned as well. So I'm sort of looking around to see if anyone else is approaching us, because we feel very conspicuous holding this. I feel very conspicuous holding this bag with this weird semi-Australian, semi-South American bush kid.
Well, okay. You could spot hidden, or you can just basically
I'm gonna spot the fuck out of this hidden character right now.
But you don't have that as a skill, and John has stealth as a skill.
It's actually a really bad score for spot hidden.
Yeah, so it's unlikely, but you could try.
Mine's not too bad.
Nothing mentioned, nothing gained. There it is. Fail.
Fail.
All right, so you're looking around, but you don't see anyone truly suspicious.
I was actually going to ask if I can spot hidden for someone that would be like, if I notice anyone that's looking specifically at these two characters, or if anything like that. Like if I see anyone that seems like they're paying attention to these people,
go ahead.
that might be watching them or something.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have spot hidden, so.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh. No. Okay.
All right.
Lower score is better, right? That's usually
yes, on the dice. On the dice.
All right. Okay.
Higher ability score or like higher skill makes it easier.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. Cool. I just remembered. Livy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it now.
Everyone's got to do it.
Just do it. The cool kids. All the cool kids are spotting hidden right now.
You have.
Oh.
95.
Yeah.
It's pretty high.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really high.
So I mean, it would have been really hard
Are we not able to show the rolls to Chatland?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
these aren't really super important rolls.
Okay, yeah.
I was saving it more for like
my bad.
Big interactions or the like, but yeah, we'll certainly show it. Please move my head for the kitty wrestling.
So cute.
Yeah, please. It's gonna treat all of us. There we go. Oh, they're done. Oh.
I don't know.
I like them better when they were fighting.
Still in the mood. All right, so none of you have spotted anything suspicious.
Oh, there they go.
So you can continue digging around in the bag, or you could even just be like, well, that's it for me, if you wanted.
Probably dig around in the bag, don't you think, Amos?
Yeah. I definitely want to peruse the things in the bag. Just
we gotta inspect.
Letting you take them out and sort of like hand them to me as you're digging through.
We're still just standing in the streets where.
We're at a train station.
In the train station. Yeah.
Okay.
So like imagine
so it's like on a platform or something.
Yeah, like you guys have exited the platform down into the central station, with the big clock and all that good stuff, I guess. But 1920s version of it. Cats are gone. So what do you pull out next?
I reach back in and I pull out the next item, which feels quite cold.
Okay, so I'm imagining you picked up the statue. Yeah.
She finds the 6-inch black rubber dildo.
Oh my god, dude!
I'm like, damn.
Zach.
This is at least 6 inches.
Yes, it's at least 6 inches.
That's what the keeper said.
Why the hell did they give us this bag?
Yeah. So the statue is actually let's see here. Let me get your character sheet up. Actually,
Is she touching that statue like right now? Grabbing it?
She is touching it. She's got it in her fingers.
Nice.
I guess. Actually, you know what? No, you don't have to roll for this. So you do recognize the figurine as something that you saw in the book that you flipped through, or rather, you recognize it as like its theme, right? So it's something that you don't really know what it is. It does seem like just some artist went off the deep end and started creating things with as many tendrils as possible. On a so it's on like it's like a ball of tendrils on a podium that's like 2 inches, right? And you can't really tell much about it, and it's very uncomfortable to hold, and it is cold, but that could just be from not having been held in a while. It's been in the bag, so you could try to appraise it. You could try and do archaeology with it, or you could just hand it to Amos.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it to Amos.
Okay.
I'll be like, this is yours, dude. Have fun.
What the hell is this?
Use
I'm like
protection.
sort of rotating it around, looking at it.
Okay, while they're doing that, can I now make my attempt to like maybe take some of the notes or something from the bag while they're examining this statue?
She's holding the bag, dude.
She's holding the bag. You'd have to make yourself known as at least a thief.
He's like, I only want to majorly fuck up this campaign, not just a little bit. I want to steal the bag and set it on fire without being detected at all by anyone. God, how did I do that?
I will chill. I will chill for the moment.
Okay. That would have been very interesting. The actual first entire campaign episode is just us chasing John Doe.
Actually, you know what? I remember like the first ever roleplay. There was like some entire campaign written around this relic, which JP destroyed in like 5 minutes.
I love hearing catastrophes like that.
I remember those stories.
Yeah. So far, you have not done any catastrophes. Way to go, guys. But I enjoy thinking on my feet, so please throw out curveballs like a burrito.
Please, not this time.
As I said to Livy, you could try and
in it because I like avocado.
Oh god. You could try to appraise it, but it really is just totally unknown to you.
Well, I guess I'm the appraiser because I've got it in my hands, looking at it. I don't really have any like expertise in that from memory. So I have like a, what is it? Like a 5. Okay, I have a 5 in appraise. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. So I assume the next thing that happens is Livibee goes to collect more things from the bag, right?
Next item.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the next thing you do is you stick your hand in the bag and you collect what is a bunch of different newspaper clippings and notes and stuff. So it's kind of just like freehand. So maybe you accidentally crinkle it when you realize it's just pieces of paper instead of something tangible, or not tangible, something concrete and formed. But you do eventually unroll some of these notes, which if you actually go into the app, you should be able to go to literally the notes page, and see that they're all public. Not you, feardragon, because you're not a part of this.
I know. I kind of figured.
So you can just start with newspaper clippings 1, which I guess feardragon, mute yourself to us.
Okay. Headphones off.
As I read this.
Hold up your hand when I can put them back in.
Okay. All right. as I read this to the stream. Okay, so newspaper clippings 1. Reign of Terror. It's a pun.
Not the Warcraft 3. This is Rain with R-A-I-N.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 citizens were admitted to Arkham Hospital for burn wounds following a night of torrential rain on February 12th, 1928. All the victims, ranging from the young, old, male, and female, told their doctors that the rain had caused the burns. When asked about the possibility of this, Dr. Halston had this to say: "There has never been rain capable of creating burns, much less the severe ones we are seeing with these patients. It's preposterous." When pressed on why the victims would all have the same story, Dr. Halston simply shrugged. An attempt to blackmail a nearby factory or cover up occult activity they were involved in? I don't know, and I don't care. Reporters attempted to reach the patients for more At that point, the clipping has been ripped off.
Some strange rain activity.
That's exactly how I would define it. Strange rain.
If you have nothing to discuss with each other, I assume that Livy read it first and then handed it to Amos.
No, I usually work alone, so I'm not used to having someone with me. I'm just like going through things one at a time, kind of minding my own business, and it's still holding this statue thing.
Okay.
So Amos, I pulled some newspaper clippings out of this bag, and it seems like it's discussing this strange rain. Now, I'm not sure why, how, or what is the link between all of these items, but does this relate to you at all? Because this doesn't seem to really relate to me. I'm not even sure why I'm involved in this.
Don't relate to me at all. I just keep handing me clippings. But someone paid this girl money to hand us clippings and a fucking weird book. So just keep them coming. Let's figure this thing out.
I guess it's worth out of curiosity.
Sure.
So you go to the second clipping? Yes?
Mm-hmm. Just a side note, I can still hear them, right? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, you can still hear them converse. Yes, sorry.
Okay. Can I put my headphones back in then? Okay.
You guys are reading this by yourselves, not to each other, so you should not be able to hear it.
Okay.
Unless your characters actually decide to. But yeah, do they? Does Livy's character start reading it out loud?
Do we want to keep feardragon in the loop? Nah.
We don't know if he's in the loop. We can't meditate
Yeah,
on this.
you guys don't know anything.
If we would read it silently, then we would read it silently.
Listen, I'm not the best at reading, so I don't read it out loud because I'm a little insecure because I started my education a bit late. I'm kind of just homeschooled, really. So I kind of read it silently.
Okay.
But Amos can read it out loud if he's
I'm just
showing off.
I'm silently reading them. I think the person that's sneaking for no reason should suffer as a result.
Okay, so newspaper clippings number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Titled "Gallery Showing Creates Local Rags to Riches Story," January 15th, 1928. Joseph Carbuncle, a 23-year-old artist, has recently found himself in the lap of luxury after a miraculous gallery showing. Previously sharing a room with 3 other young artists, Joseph is now Arkham's most popular figure. The paintings that were once described as crazy, with no rhyme or reason, and given an uneasy feeling in one's gut, are now being collected all over Massachusetts. When asked about such a drastic difference in response, Carbuncle simply smiled and shrugged. Fortune finally favored me. Noted amongst the most generous benefactors is the one and only Harold Bradley, who has since been out of the public's eye.
It's January 15th, 1928, so that's like 8 months ago. Literally.
Yes.
Exactly 8 months ago.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, Amos, read this. This 23-year-old artist is only a year older than me. I'm an artist. I could become rich too. Maybe this does relate to me.
I'm just sort of like half smiling at the absurdity of this human being that's with me right now, and still reading the paper. I take it all in, and my curiosity's peaked. Like I don't want to be curious about all this filthy stuff inside of a sack from a street urchin, but I'm curious. I want to know what else is in there. Like what other clippings have we got? I feel like we're trying to put a puzzle together without all the pieces. So. Keep them coming.
Yeah, let's read the final clipping. This one's a bit sticky.
Damn.
Newspaper clippings number 3.
The middle of this magazine stuck together. I wonder why.
Ugh. This is the last one that you find. The Dead Speak, April 6th, 1925. Nurses are reporting an unnerving number of veterans who, upon taking their last breath, scream what is being described as horrific, guttural sounds from the depths of hell. Nurses at Arkham Hospital have dubbed these death cries, as the only ones who start chanting these mysterious words are minutes away from death. None of the nurses could give an accurate portrayal of these sounds, but all agreed it made their skin crawl. The physicians at Arkham Asylum have also reported strange murmurs from their more desperate cases, but do not report any such death cries.
Hey, Amos.
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
That business is my own. I'm here for a very good reason, and none of this seems to pertain to any of it, although I'm told otherwise.
No, bro, listen, I told you what I do and you're keeping that secret. I see where we lay. It's cool. It's cool. You got boundaries. I respect that. Just read this final clip in and tell me what you think.
All right. I take it all in, have a look, and it just seems as random as the last thing. Just weird, occultish, and it seems fiction to me. None of it seems real. So, like, I've never heard of any of this because I'm, generally on the West Coast. I haven't heard any of this. This isn't something that's come through the grapevine to me, and I consider myself a pretty connected person. So I'm just sort of, my head's spinning. I'm at a loss.
Hello.
Hello, feardragon.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So that is the conclusion of what's in the bag. Besides the individual notes you have gotten, which you have chosen not to share so far, that's really all you have in the town of Arkham on this day. What do you choose to do?
Okay.
Listen, Amos, I know you're a secretive guy. Listen. But listen, Amos.
All right.
Whew. There's got to be some link here. I was told to meet here, and I have yet to find out why. And as curious comes, I'm here. There's got to be some sort of link, and I think we should probably find it.
Well,
Otherwise, I've traveled from Australia to be here for nothing.
That's further than me, but I didn't exactly come around the corner neither. The only thing that links these 3 pieces of paper together is that hospital. And I think that's our next stop to figure out what this is all about.
Hospital. Sounds like a creepy hospital. Are you sure you want to go? Like, one time, a few years back, I kind of visited a haunted hotel because it looked like kind of interesting. And it was haunted, dude. I was so scared. I don't know if we want to go to a haunted hospital. Like, I've already done the haunted hotel thing.
What in this paper says that this hospital is haunted? It may actually just be a hospital.
The dead speak, dude. Did you not read the clippings? There was people speaking and dying and seeing.
My character is rubbing his temples together.
Right?
John Doe is
squinting
just
at this girl
so hard.
Yeah,
right
I'm just
now.
like rubbing my temples, squinting at this girl. Like, is she for real?
Do you answer me this, Amos? Do you believe in ghosts?
Some form or another, but not in the kind that you're talking about.
Okay, so you kind of do believe.
Again, that's none of your
I haven't
business.
talked about any ghosts. How do you know what ghosts I'm talking about?
You literally just said ghost.
Okay, so you believe in ghosts?
My God.
Oh, jeez, this guy is so secretive. Did you at least receive a letter to be here? Why are you even here?
And then mom's like, the eyebrows go up when I hear about the letter. I'm like, yes, I did.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. What's your letter say?
None of your business, lady. Let's just go to this hospital and figure things out. Then we can go our separate ways. Clearly, we are not meant to be together for a 6-month campaign.
So, if you are deciding to go to the hospital, what do you do with the bag?
I'm going to let the Australian bush kid carry it for me.
So basically, I get the bag and a string, and then I tie it on the end of a stick, and then I lodge it over my shoulder.
Hobo style.
All right.
I got you.
Hobo style, yeah.
I got you.
All right.
Okay, that's fine with me. As you guys decide on this plan, the two adventurers that were loosely connected somehow going to the hospital, John Doe has a decision to make.
I'm going to tail them.
Of course you are. Okay, so I will say that I will occasionally tell you to roll for stealth, and
Okay.
occasionally you will be included in, if they do a spot check. Right? So
Okay.
you can do it now. They're not I think thinking about you very much anymore, but yeah. It might happen quite commonly. So, you guys exit the train station. Now, Arkham, I don't believe any of you have actually been to Arkham before. John Doe has, but not your guys' characters. So, this is a totally foreign city to you, but it's a pretty bustling city. I mean, it's actually very large. It has a river running through the middle of town, which is, it can be seen as you go down the steps of the train station. It was on a bit of a hill. It's actually kind of picturesque. There we go. But otherwise, not really too different from any other decently sized city that you've been to on both of your travels, actually, since both of you have traveled quite a bit. You don't know where the Arkham hospital is, however. It's not really quite those just like super large buildings in the middle of nowhere that maybe they can be here today.
Train stations generally have maps, right?
They do, yes. So you do see a map upon exiting, right? Like on the exit, alongside, whatever else would be at the train station, the ticket counters and people bothering you for, give you rides and whatnot. And in fact, you kind of have to like beat off some of these guys offering you rides.
We have to beat off people to get rides? Rough town.
Yeah, right. So, if you go up to the map, it's a little crowded, but you eventually make your way through, and upon, it's not too far away from where you were. It's not that big of a train station, but it's like a 2-minute walk or something. You do see the orphan kid again, and she is very clearly picking pockets and doing things that she should not be doing. You do notice it, but you don't have to do anything about it. She's not trying to hide from you. She's trying to hide from the police and the people she's stealing from. And there are a couple of policemen, just two or three maybe, that are around. You could also ask for help for those directions, or you could just look at the map, which does very clearly mark the hospital. And I assume both of you know how to read maps. Well, maybe not Livibee that much, I don't know. But it is about, like a 15, 20 minute walk.
Well, I definitely have the map thing down, and because I'm just one of those guys that's used to working alone, I'm sort of silently working. I grab this map, I find the hospital, and then I just sort of say to Avocado, I'm like, there's the hospital. 15-minute walk.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just tag along with you because I'm gonna play this out. Still curious, and you're gonna become my best friend, Amos. Call me Av.
Let's give her a raised eyebrow and just sort of like.
Okay.
We're going on an adventure.
All right.
And we're off. Stop.
So about 5 minutes into your walk, it's noon on a rather sunny day, a couple clouds through the air. You pass by typical stuff in a town, maybe a bakery, maybe
Nice.
a clothing shop, some tailors, nothing really noticeable. You do walk by a couple of postings of this guy Carbuncle and his gallery showings, which do seem to be a little dated. They're a little torn, they're a little old, a little weather worn. It's not been too recent. And otherwise, you just continue on your journey to the hospital. About 5 minutes in, Fear Dragon has to do a stealth check.
Okay.
And he failed,
Okay.
surprisingly.
Oh, shit.
He has like a 20% chance to fail. Okay,
Fucking wrecked.
God.
thank God though, right? So he was doing his usual thing, right, which is being very, very sneaky. He was tailing you from a distance, but then basically, I'm going to say that he kind of lost track of you. There's a decent number of people walking through the streets, peddling their goods and whatnot, and he got distracted for some reason or another. Maybe there was a beignet walking, and he was like, that smells really good. Who knows? But he loses track of you, and in a desperate attempt to find you again, he gets a little sloppy and rushes up to you accidentally. He doesn't bump into you. He's not that bad, but you guys do notice that someone has just suddenly rushed and then suddenly stopped and is now behind you.
And this is a fully grown man, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'm going to be very, upfront and be like, who are you? What do you want?
I'm gonna, I don't think I'm not gonna roll, disguise check or anything for this. But I'm gonna, very poorly lie. I just want to say that I'm gonna fail this really badly. I'm gonna be like, I'm a milk delivery man. Literally don't have any milk or anything on me. Just, stoop, and I'm, stuttering, and I have no confidence in this whatsoever.
Oh my god. Take it away, guys.
You're not a milkman. Even
Hey, I love milk. Can I have some?
Quiet, girl.
No.
I'm out.
So you're out here delivering no milk. You're the milkman and you're delivering nothing. Is that what you're saying to me right now? You're delivering me bullshit, boy. Who are you? What do you want?
What's in the sack?
I
just want to also note, I'm starting to, kind of reach for my dagger. I'm like, shit.
Oh my gosh.
If I'm an experienced gunman, so if I see him reaching, I'm going to start reaching.
Ooh.
Are you reaching for me or are you reaching for your gun?
I'm reaching for my pace, dude. I have a revolver. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does if I spin it enough.
Oh lordy. Okay. Did not expect that to make two characters fighting each other.
Well, what else would I do if a stranger guy started reaching?
That's very
looks
true.
Like this fucking weirdo coming up to me. Of course.
Not that we're fighting each other yet. Just we're having a conversation. We're talking.
Fear Dragon, did your character notice or not notice that he was carrying weapons?
I don't know. Don't think I've made any checks for that. Are they very clearly hidden? Or sorry.
Are they hidden or are they clear?
Are they well hidden weapons? How does
he's carrying
Amos
a shotgun, so I don't know how much you can really hide that.
Okay.
You're carrying a rifle, unless you have a really deep anal cavity.
So I mean,
literally inside of your hands right now.
I don't think legally just carrying around a rifle is normal.
Sorry, son. I thought this was America.
I in a bag. I'm pretty sure mine is disassembled in a bag.
It's possible. I don't actually think it's a little uncommon considering it's a city, but I mean, this is still Massachusetts being built up. It's not the South exactly. It's not like it's 10 minutes walk from a farm, but seeing someone carrying a gun does disturb some people. As long as you're not brandishing it, I think that they would just
seeing someone basically carrying a sniper rifle though.
No, it's like a hunting rifle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right, and if sniper rifles even, I don't think they really existed back then. I don't think people would really generally know. They'd assume that you're a country boy, especially Maynarde. So as soon as he talks, he'd be like, "Oh, those country boys."
Yeah, I'm not I'm one of those guys. I'm not dressed badly, but I'm absolutely armed.
Yeah.
In the South, it's basically it's open carry. I looked into this. You could just have a gun on you walking around.
It would make
I don't know if it was on the East Coast though. I didn't look at that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I haven't looked at it either, but I'm not certain it's so different. It would certainly draw the attention of, I guess, the police, who maybe I'm going to say they didn't notice you at the police station. There's too much going on. So again, as long as they're not brandishing it, that's fine. But it should be obvious, even if he had like a jacket over it or something like that. If you were paying at all any attention, it should be like, wow, that's a mysteriously large package you have there, sir.
Okay. Not mysterious about it.
All right, I think I'm keeping that in mind, trying to keep things from escalating, but just getting ready in case something happens. Wait, was I the last one that said something, or were you?
You started.
You said something weird. Reach for a knife. You were like, "What's in the sack?" and started reaching for a knife. So I, as an armed Southerner, decided to reach for my weapon, which is, pulling back the coat and showing off the hilt.
Which is your racism.
Which is my racism and intolerance for your people. That's right. No, I just reached for the gun. But I'm sort of like I'm dead-eyed staring at him and his hands. I'm like, what are you doing here?
So you both are kind of doing that like gunslinger pose. You both are ready.
But my eyes are hurting a lot. I'm like trying to do it, but I'm.
I thought you were good at this. I was mistaken. Okay, so I mean, it's kind of your move though. Like this guy is staring you down. He's obviously experienced. He's older than you. He's confident, of himself, and he's staring you down.
And I'm telling you right now, my gun stat is good. So be careful.
Well, guys, I'm re-rolling a new character. No.
Dude, imagine if we killed a character in the first stream. That'd be sick.
So wait, you're not saying anything whatsoever?
No, I've said what I wanted to say. I wanted you to answer me.
Wait, what was your question?
Who are you?
Who are you and what do you want? I asked that twice.
Okay, I think at this point I'll say, like, I think something in the bag was meant for me.
Oh.
You're John.
This is John, Amos.
I got that.
I think I like very awkwardly responded, I am a John.
Specifically not a John Doe. Just to stay John. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh geez, I didn't even know what to ask this guy. I'm just like, you're John. Like, what do you, oh, I'm so confused.
Maximum social awkwardness.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, sort of, I'm still holding on to my gun, but I'm just sort of like, John, as in train station John, as in this bag is also for you.
Was there something inside it for me?
I'm honestly, sir, I'm not sure if any of this stuff in this bag is meant for any of us, but we're led to believe it is. Your name is not on anything in here.
Can I see it then?
Well, how do we know you're truly John? How do we know it was truly meant for you?
I think I would have.
Look, girl.
Gonna need some proof here.
This bag has got a book in it and a bunch of paper. It ain't exactly bricks of gold. Let's just show him.
Okay.
Okay. Some of it might be valuable.
What's valuable in here?
The statue looks somewhat valuable.
Maybe. I'll just show him the clippings. Don't give him the statue. Give him the
newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that he looks at each one individually pretty quickly. Just runs through them. You do recognize something about this. Hold on. I believe it's number. Oh no, it is number 2. So you actually read through newspaper clipping number 2, which talks about Joseph Carbuncle and his gallery, and you recognize the name Harold Bradley. Now, your knowledge of this guy is that he is basically the richest person in Arkham. He's an old guy. He's got an extensive family. He has extensive connections. He seems to be well loved, actually. Seems to use his fortune for good, despite having a mass amount of it. And it is not too shocking to see that he is donating. But you know him not just as his presence in Arkham, because you don't really frequent Arkham that often. Mm-hmm. You know him since you've heard his name being talked about in your family, your mob, basically has mentioned his name occasionally. Not in any way that. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Do you remember in what any context?
So it's not in any way that would immediately cause you suspicion. It's mobs talking about a rich guy.
Mm-hmm.
But you have gotten you immediately call back to when you've heard those names, and you figure that they probably weren't talking about how nice of a guy he was. He was probably talking about either him being a target, or his family, or he has hired your family before to do things. You don't know which one.
Okay. And then Joseph Carbuncle, I know from the clippings around, right, for the gallery.
Yeah, so you've been in Arkham for just a little while, doing things.
Mm-hmm.
You're not familiar with the city, and you heard about Joseph Carbuncle's gallery, and you're not interested in art, so you didn't really pay attention.
Yeah.
But you also noticed that there's the posters around. They've been around for like a year or something.
Okay. So I think I'll just, at this point, John Doe kind of just turns to Amos, because I think Amos has been doing most of the talking. And kind of says, like, where are you guys going right now?
We read in these clippings that a lot of these things that are apparently for us, and they all seem to be connected to the hospital somehow, and we're on our way there now.
Okay. Is there a specific thing in the clippings? I can read through the clippings. Actually, yeah. I'll read through the clippings while you guys head over to the hospital then.
Walk and read.
Number 1 mentions Arkham Hospital burn ward, weird things, and then the third one mentions nurses at Arkham Hospital talking about their patients dying and yelling mysterious things.
Okay.
So 2 out of 3 of them do mention the Arkham Hospital.
Okay. I'll also mention to them, I'll kind of say, like, also this, like, what do you guys know about, like, this Carbuncle guy? And I'll kind of, if there's one of those advertisements for the gallery, I'll kind of, like, point to it as I say that.
I don't know, John. I really want to meet him, though, because I'm also an artist, and maybe he'll buy some of my artwork. Do you reckon we could meet him? Do you know him?
The only thing I know about Joseph Carbuncle is the gallery thing, right?
Yeah, you don't know him personally.
Okay.
Ah, man, that's a bummer. I just really want to meet him. I want to show him my portfolio.
If we don't learn anything from this hospital, he'll be the next port of call.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So now we can stop constantly like checking to see if your dragon's going to be shown or not.
Sorry.
No, so you actually could have been undetected the entire time, but somehow you messed up despite having like your best ability.
Damn, the wild beasts of Arkham are really making a lot of noise here. Lucky. Come here.
It just adds to the ambiance of the town. Just dogs running through.
Right. It's those white fluffy things running around. Damn, he is pissed.
Cute.
Back in. I'm just checking to make sure no one's at the door. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Not much happens on your way to Arkham Hospital, actually. So we should just... He doesn't need to hear that. You guys arrive at Arkham Hospital. It is not haunted. It is a functioning hospital. Well, not that it's outwardly haunted anyway. It's not like decrepit or anything. It's actually a nice-looking hospital. It's like, 5-6 stories. Certainly a decent size. Maybe you would eventually have found it if you had just, like, randomly started looking. But you make it there in about 15-20 minutes, and you enter in, and there is a receptionist who immediately asks the person who entered in first, which maybe it was Maynarde, maybe it isn't, what they would like to do here. What's their problem?
Have you read those clippings yet, John?
Read the first one. I'm reading the second one. I also shot you a message on Discord. Jess, if you want to quickly answer that question. Where was the hospital mentioned? The second clipping?
First and third.
Oh, not the second.
Oh,
just
first
the
and
second.
third. Got it. Okay. I think I'll turn to like Ava and kind of say like, oh, I guess I'll just turn to both of them and say like, so what brought you guys here? Like, why did you guys?
Well, John, let me tell you, I didn't want to come, not really into the whole haunted thing, but Amos over here insisted, and he says that we're going to find our answers here, and it had something to do with these clippings. But I'm just going along for the adventure.
Okay. Does Amos say anything?
Amos.
I literally was outside. I missed all of this. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I was just asking like, did you decide to disclose like what brought you here? It's like the train station.
No, I didn't. No. I'm very much like a lone sort of worker. I didn't. When she asked why are you here and that sort of thing, I neglected. I said it's none of your business.
Okay. I think also we arrived at the hospital and we were being asked by the keeper what we wanted to do. If you had any thoughts?
Yeah, you're at the hospital. Nothing has happened. Just the person is asking if you have a problem. The receptionist.
Oh. I'll show her one of these clippings, and the specifically the Reign of Terror one, clipping 1.
Okay.
Like, do you know anything about this?
She's 50 something years old. She's been in the business for a while. She was around for this particular happening. She looks at the newspaper clipping and says, "Yeah, of course I recognize it. It was not only the talk of the town for a little while, but also I personally was involved with some of these patients. Didn't make any sense to me. I just cleaned them up, healed their wounds, and sent them on their way, should they be capable of being sent on their way."
Where did they come from? Was it anywhere in particular?
As I recall, it was all over Arkham. Beyond down south through the river. A couple of people maybe a little outside the town, and otherwise just completely random folk as far as I could understand. I didn't work with every single one of them, but that's part of the confusion.
What about this Dr. Halston? Is he still here?
She notably gets a little disgruntled, puts on an unpleasant face after being, pretty nice to you. Yes, he does still work here. He doesn't do so much of the groundwork anymore, but you would be able to talk to him. I don't think he's open really to talking to complete strangers, however. He's not exactly a he's good at what he does. He's not exactly a people person.
So he's here.
Yes, I believe he should be here. She actually kind of scoots back and looks at a document and says, "Yes, I believe he came in around 2-3 hours ago. Should be here for the rest of the day."
All right, I'm going to turn around to the crew and just sort of be like, I want to see this doctor, and if he really doesn't want to talk, I say we make him talk.
Oh, gee. Amos, that makes me uncomfortable, dude.
So at this point, I think I say like, we could do that, or we could convince him that we're maybe part of the hospital staff.
Oh, a little bit of role play.
Hey, we need more of that.
I could totally get a, doctor's outfit.
Could you?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm pinching the bridge of my nose, and then I'm just going to be like, interrupting people, like, hold on. This man is a veteran of this hospital. You want to go in there and pretend that you're a brand new employee that he's never seen before, and convince him to tell us stuff about the past. And
Unpaid intern.
we are employees of this hospital. He won't speak to strangers. Whether we're wearing a lab coat, or holding a clipboard, or wearing fancy glasses, we're still strangers.
Listen, Amos, you don't know till you try. We just gotta say he's nice and that his eyes suit his outfit, and he'll start talking.
I'm doing this, like, putting up the hand. Where is Dr. Halston? That's what I'm saying to this nurse. Doing it right in front of Avocado is just like, all right, like, just, it's enough. Let's go find this doctor.
Okay. Yeah, so the nurse is kind of amused with with Avocado. Actually, like, kind of like
too.
Like in a nice way though. Like she kind of thinks that she's probably actually like not 22, was it, or 23? That she's probably like 15 or something. So she's kind of amused at her, but she's speaking to you. So, I can tell you that he's here, but I'm afraid that I can't just let you go and visit him for no reason. I mean, besides him probably not wanting to talk to you. We have many things happening right now. There's people to take care of, and we don't want you going in and possibly contaminating, infecting anyone. I mean, I could certainly schedule an appointment.
We don't have time for appointments.
Does Dr. Wait, what was his name? Dr.
Halston.
Halston? Does he have a specialty?
He's a special. like burns or brain or. Gosh, that's a good question. I mean, he's a general doctor. I don't.
He's a GP.
So if someone were injured, he would treat them.
Oh God, I don't like where this is going. Huh? If it required higher education, then he would be called in for an approval to do something even bigger than just like a suture or something like that.
Okay, so he's a big shot.
Yeah.
Okay. There goes.
All right. Well, we've had Avocado's strategy thrown out here just to dress up and try and show off. I sort of going to open up the floor to John here and ask, John, you're a sneaky fellow, not very good at it, but what do you think? What would you do here? We need to find this doctor and speak to them.
Whoa, I'm going to interrupt Amos on this one because the dressing up and the role-playing was John's idea. I just thought it was a good one. And agreed with him. But that's cool. It's all good. It's an avocado.
So I'd respond with, so the other idea, and let's not talk to him at all. Let's just go look at the files ourselves.
I'm down with that.
Guys, don't you think it'd be nice to have some insight from the doctor that was on call that night that could, let us know what went down or what was strange or the feeling you got from everything?
I just turned to Ava and I'm just like, you do that. We'll go. And I just start walking like toward his office, basically.
Now,
if I see like a lab coat or something, I will pick it up.
So to set the scene a little bit more, up until this point, you guys have been in the no problem area, right? Like you're at the receptionist, basically. If you came in with a broken leg, they'd send you back there. If you came in with just a injured finger, they just keep you and be like, wait here. So as it is right now, no one's really paying attention to you. But should you delve deeper into the hospital, doors lead into the next part of the hospital, and those doors are going to be guarded at least by the secretary who's going to see you walk to those doors and be like, hey, what are you doing? It's also at this point in time guarded by a single police officer, not exactly the scariest police officer with like a shotgun or something like that, but rather, guy who's probably just making sure that no I was gonna say crack addict, but I was trying to think of what would be in the 1920s. Absinthe addict? I don't even know.
Alcohol.
Laudanum, was that still around?
I guess opium wouldn't just be
opium.
opiums.
Yeah, opium.
Yeah, that's usually what they're having with absinthe. But anyways, just make sure that nothing really gets out of hand.
Burritos.
Yeah, this isn't. You would know it's not exactly common. I mean, it's not the most uncommon thing, especially if you get to bigger cities. But it is a little curious that they have a police officer for what is a mid-sized town still. But he would guard your path as well.
How many hit points does he have?
Now I'm actually starting to lean towards the whole dress up and sneak past them thing. God damn it.
He's always ready to shut down the ideas initially, but he'll come crawling back.
I'm relatively handy at being stealthy, and also having sleight of hand. So yeah, go on.
While we're discussing this, I think John turns to Ava and kind of says like, "What would you say?" And then like looks at him again, thinks of it, turns to Amos and is like, "What do you think your pain threshold is?"
Oh, gee.
It's pretty high, but where are you going with this?
Oh, no.
So I think I just kind of like discreetly pull out my dagger and I'm like, "What's your least important finger?"
Oh, no, don't do it. Listen, guys, before we go cutting off each other's fingers, I got a plan. All right, I'm short, I'm small, and I'm cute. I can fit in the vents up there. And I can go through the vents, and then I can find the doctor that we need to talk to, get the information we need, and then we'll be on our jolly way.
Metal Gear is not going to be out for another 70 years, but God, you know, I'm reluctant to take a knife anywhere for.
I have another idea, and I think this is actually great. So I'm going to take my knife, and I'm a pretty skilled assassin, I think, right? So like, I'm going to ask, can I cut myself in a way that looks deadly but is very minimal harm alongside one of the areas where I have an existing scar?
Dude.
And make it look like an emergency.
Whoa. It's actually smart. All right.
Okay, where are your scars? Here we go.
So like my character description is that I am just covered in scars basically everywhere below the head. Even like my hands, my body, everything.
Well, then I was gonna say the head. The head would be the like, oh, this could be serious because it bleeds a lot and it's the head. But if you don't have scars in the head, then simple up the wrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or actually across, I guess. Across would make it not as deadly, but it would still cause a lot of blood.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I'm not actually gonna wait for their approval. I'm just gonna do it.
Assuming that you can't mess up cutting yourself, though. I feel like you could. Hold on here.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at this.
Hold on.
I'm not under a timer.
I mean, I knew. Okay, but like the thing is that
literally my profession.
But what is going through your head right now? You know how to kill people quickly and maybe silently.
How to not kill someone.
That's true. So you would know what bleeds the most, but not is actually fatal.
Yeah.
Would he?
He does have first aid knowledge as well.
All right. Okay.
I was gonna go with it.
Okay.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna say we're not gonna test any critical failures.
That's how I rerolled my first character.
Someone in chat was just like, John Doe the Third arrives to avenge his
but here is the thing though, as you do not wait for their approval. Are you at least secluded? Are you away from the receptionist and all the people that are waiting to be seen?
Yeah, I see that you're like, you weren't injured, and all of a sudden you are injured. Like,
in front of the receptionist, I'm just like, what's your pain?
You're like, watch this.
Pull out my knife and cut myself.
Okay, so you step outside, I suppose, and you cut yourself.
Actually, hold on. If I'm doing this, when I step outside, I do have disguise, and I want to see if I can like alter my like clothes or something, make myself at least a little bit less recognizable to the receptionist.
Okay.
Just so that they wouldn't like remember I was just inside like 5 seconds ago or something, because I didn't say anything to them.
That's true. She
Fine
was.
booth and puts on a pair of glasses, and all of a sudden, no one recognizes him.
The receptionist was paying attention to the smooth talker and the cute little girl. So go ahead and roll a disguise.
Okay, cool. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Hard success. Hard
Damn.
success. Okay, so you walk outside. I mean, I don't even know. You're entirely covered.
Turn my gloves inside out.
I was gonna say, I don't even know how you like truly disguise yourself. Maybe you just, I mean, it's probably more in just how you act. So maybe you give yourself a little bit of a slouch, like right, like you're suddenly a bit slouched over, and you have you walk kind of funny, and
I find a guy outside, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll give you $3 for that like jacket or something."
$3 in 1920s.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that's
funny.
Dude.
Who would turn it down?
Don't you only have $10, something like that?
Well, now I have $7. Okay, fine, like $1. Okay.
Oh my god, it's equivalent to $37.
That's like giving someone a straight $1,000.
Dude, if someone offered me $37 for my jacket in today's day, I would not give them my jacket.
That actually is a bit
Offered
suspicious.
me like, huh?
Yeah, I'm with you.
If they offered me like $100, I would be like, I'd consider it, but I'd still kind of be like,
Well, in the 1920s, it was $37.67.
Okay, so I
Cool.
think $2 something.
For someone's jacket?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Sure.
That's excessive.
Someone-
He gets it. Money, yeah.
Someone has a killer bomber jacket, and they just are like, yeah, fine, here, take it. So again, like you do a pretty good job of disguising yourself, and you cut yourself on one wrist.
I think just one would be enough.
Okay. And you cut yourself on one wrist. I assume you walk back inside, and you're like, oh my god, I'm bleeding.
I think, yeah. Actually, I do it in that tone. I'm like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. I'm dying. Help me.
And show her your bleeding arm, which, is proof enough, I suppose.
I don't just show it to her. I like put it over and it like drops blood on her paperwork to make it feel more urgent.
That's rude. Okay, she's actually like, at first she was a little concerned, and then she's now like, this guy's crazy and also is like ruining my day. So she's just like, she like takes all her stuff away from your bleeding arm and is like, okay. Then she looks at your arm, and she actually, I mean, she's been a nurse for a while. It's not like, attempted suicides. I don't think with that. I don't want to use the word popular, but you know what I mean. Common. There we go. They were that common. This is before the Depression, but she is a little like she's a little weirded out. Like it's just a simple slice over the wrist. Like how did this happen? But the amount of blood is still concerning. So instead of ask you a question, she says, okay, like let's get you to a doctor and let's get you bandaged, which is relatively simple, but still you need to go through the doors. Now you are allowed to go through. What about the other guys?
I want to follow him with me. It's like it's my brother. I'm family.
Is the receptionist still guiding us, or?
She is literally guiding you to the doors.
Okay. I think she would remember already talking to the other two, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you came in, you're like,
Okay.
I'm their brother. It's me, your cousin.
Yeah.
She'd be like, she'd be even more just weirded out by this.
Okay, yeah. I pretend like I don't know them and just go in.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is where it gets fun. So we actually have two different stories now to work with. So you are guided into a simple room. They're not going to send you into like the OR or something like that. So relatively simple room, and are told to wait while they go and grab bandages and a doctor that can actually assess you and wrap you up. And they do leave you alone.
I immediately shed the jacket that I bought and try and see if there's anything I can do to just like quickly just cover up the bleeding and stuff. Like very quickly just I guess do something to like make or like bandage it up so that it's not bleeding everywhere.
There's
like
probably like those square pieces of gauze, right, and medical tape.
I think I just slap a bunch of those on, and then I roll my sleeves like back up so that it's like totally covered.
Okay. We'll see how long you have to deal with that and assess damage later.
And I guess how long would I be able to do that before someone got back?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can do it kind of while you're walking out, right? Like you take all the materials and you walk out. Problem is though, is that you actually don't know where you are.
Oh, that's fine. That's not a problem.
So
this is fun.
You leave. You're bandaging yourself up. You left your jacket, and what you see is just a hallway.
The other guy's jacket. That wasn't my jacket.
Okay. You see the hallway, which you can determine was the way that you came from. That's obvious enough. And then there's the hallway leading more and more hallway down that way.
Okay. Actually, the room that I was in didn't have any form of clothes or like scrubs or anything, right?
No, I don't know.
Okay. So I think I would go walking through and see if I find like either a room or a person, whichever one I find first. Like a room that seems like it might have
okay,
either scrubs or some sort of form of clothes, or if I find a person instead, that's fine.
Okay. Let's do this. So while you are doing that, and this is taking, you're exiting and bandaging is taking no more than like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
But you were shown into a room and whatnot. So let's say it's been like about 5 minutes since Amos and Avocado saw that you left. Now, as they probably just sit there and are like, well, great, now what are we doing? Actually, tell me what you would decide to do after he left you.
Light up a cigarette and sit down.
Which you can do
waiting
indoors.
bench, waiting area.
Freedom, am I right?
Freedom, that's right. And I'd roll one up for myself and just roll one up for Ava.
Okay. What about you, Ava?
Yeah.
Do you want it?
No, I'm good. Hey, I believe in Cleveland.
Nah, mate.
Anyways, you chill. I'm gonna step off this way for a bit. And then I'm probably gonna go into the vent.
Are you
and execute my vent plan?
I'm gonna tell you, the vent actually does not usually hold a person.
Oh.
You're gonna try and disassemble the vent and be like, I can fit my shoulder.
How small are you? Yeah. How small are you?
You can try though. Let's say that you try. You see a vent and you're like, fucking genius here.
Genius.
And you like get a like a chair that people use to just like wait for their turn, and you try and start fidgeting with it. Now the receptionist notices you and is about to scream at you.
Oh no.
But as that happens, 2 police officers like bust through the door of the hospital. And they're trying to hold some guy who is just thrashing so violently that you're pretty sure any wounds he sustained are by his own doing. He's bleeding from the forehead. He's bleeding from the leg. His clothes are torn, and he's just yelling bloody murder. Not anything, weird or cultist-like, but just basically like, get your hands off me, I'm fine, this is so stupid, you're stupid, like, that type of stuff. It's causing quite a scene, and the 2 police officers are very clearly trying not to get themselves hurt. They don't want to hurt him either. He doesn't have any weapons or anything. And they tug him past, Livibee trying to do her thing, and Maynarde smoking a cigarette, and they go up to the receptionist, like, this guy is, like, I don't know what he's on, but he is a danger to himself, he's a danger to us, but he is bleeding from this knife wound, and they proceed to like lift up his shirt, and he just has like this big gaping wound right in his stomach. And the receptionist, very quick on, pretty good at her job, quick on her feet, like said, like gets up and is like, I can't, this again, like this has to be like the fourth person in a week. That Carbuncle house is just, it's insane. It has to be shut down. And the police, they're like, we don't, like, that's not our job. We're not here for that. But this guy is like, he seriously needs to be admitted, and then he needs to go to the like Arkham Asylum immediately. And with her help, the guy still, like, as loony as can be, just crazy, gets shown through the doors. And at that point, feardragon's character is actually still looking for a thing to do, someone to talk to, or someone to steal clothes off the back of, I don't know. And he sees this crazy person. So, feardragon, what does your character do?
I go, ooh, should scare him now. I see the crazy person.
I say crazy, but he's just very
screaming and
coked up on something.
Belligerent.
Yes.
I think I would avoid that one.
You're just gonna like dip into another room.
Yeah, I mean, just avoid that because he's being escorted still by the police officers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're gonna have to
There's
like
no,
tie him down.
There's no like orderlies or anything with them,
Orderlies? No.
or not
Like nurses or
nurses
something.
or anything.
There's a reception. She is a nurse as well, but she
Oh,
has
it's a receptionist.
right. She has.
Oh yeah, I
come
dodged
along.
the hell out of
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Okay.
Not that she'd really be paying attention to you, so as soon as you dodge out of the way, I mean, she might have noticed you if she was looking in the room or the hallway, but of course she wasn't.
Well, I'm not wearing the same jacket.
You're completely invisible. So you hear the police officers and the nurse kind of talking about something, and you also hear the snippet of like that Carbuncle house, but unless you decide to investigate further, you have entered into another room that's, it's the same exact one as yours, just like 2 doors over.
Okay. And the people are still outside?
These guys? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sort of watching it all unfold, smoking my cigarette. I don't see any reason to be jumping up and chasing people around.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just going to chill out until either I don't hear people outside or someone else comes in the room.
Okay.
Can I?
And I try and, in the meanwhile, sorry, really quickly, I also double check on the bandaging and make sure that everything is holding up okay. Start attending to it myself if I have the time for it.
Okay.
Can I use the whole thing that just happened as a distraction to kind of sneak past everybody?
That vent? Yeah.
No, not in the vent. I just go straight to the door.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You could do a stealth check. Did you add any points to yourself? Oh.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
Is that police
Yeah.
officer still by that door?
the police officer has gone in to check to make sure the hallway is like they don't need any help. So he probably would have seen her.
I'm still in his like his peripheral vision. I'm still in his.
Let's say that he passed through the door, but he's on the other side of it. so even if Livibee's character had like gotten through, she probably would have been seen immediately.
He'd be there.
But she doesn't. Like some other nurse has come by and was like, "Where are you going? You're not injured."
It would be a back attack because
Yeah.
he's facing away.
What?
I was making a joke that it would be a back attack because he's facing away
Oh,
from
God.
the door.
Nothing but death and destruction with you. Okay, so you guys
I
don't.
roll for coup de grace.
So again, like the other nurse who was coming by just to like drop off some paperwork is like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not injured." Talking to Livibee's character.
Okay. I needed to ask my good friend something. You think I could just check real quick? I'll be
Roll.
real quick.
Roll. Let's see what you put in here. Did you take persuasion or fast talk or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so you have to roll persuasion based off the default.
Okay.
Whoa!
Oh!
Holy shit! Oh god.
God damn.
Okay, so she gets a hard success. She got a 3, which is actually just an insane roll. The 3 out of
You're a doctor
100
now.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, doctor,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm so sorry.
Hospital.
Okay, so let's actually say that you're super convincing. You just had a spark of inspiration and you just know exactly what to do. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so worried about my friend who just got admitted through there. He injured his wrist, and I don't know if they're taking care of him because some other guy came in here and he was super crazy. He was muttering about something. I just really want to make sure that my friend's okay and being taken care of. Could I go back there? And she's like, was there a nurse with the patient? And you say, yeah, but I don't know if she's gonna have to help that other guy, and I just want to make sure that my friend's okay. You know, I'll be back here right after, I promise. And the nurse says, okay, that's fine with me. Like, what harm could you really do, right? You're a young woman, and
None of us asked for directions.
And everyone in the 20s know that women can't do anything.
Yeah, that gets you a pass for a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah.
Fair, fair, fair. Good call.
Any of us ask for directions to this guy's office?
No.
Just wanna put
Not a
that
big
out
hospital. We'll find it eventually.
Feardragon's going all hashtag patriarchy right now.
You guys have not. So you are admitted past the door at the same time that was happening too. Like, the police officer who was guarding the door kind of like started to enter back into it once he realized that he wasn't needed to help with the guy that was screaming, and he kind of overheard you talking to her and heard the admittal. So he lets you on past.
Now I run through and try and find the doctor we need to talk to about this incident.
Okay, so you're in the hallway, and you also don't really know exactly where you are. Feardragon is currently in a room who's now trying to probably leave the room because he's hearing the person. He can hear the person. He can hear the stuff that's going on, but he figures that's a good sign. That means that they're still kind of handling him.
Cool.
So he exits as you come through the hallway and you bump into each other. Not literally, but figuratively.
Perfect.
I just like nod toward the hallway that I came from, and I'm like, it's not that way.
Oh, geez, John. Look, I got through without a single cut. How you like that?
I don't say anything. I literally just continue staring.
Oh my God,
geez.
There's no change in my facial expression.
I'm gonna take that as pleased.
I just start walking down the other hallway.
Okay. So you're walking now somewhat together. Maybe, Av is more like following you, but anyway, somewhat together. And you do see a sign towards like it, there's like sign forward more like OR or something like that, I guess. And then sign right says like break room or cafeteria or whatever it would be called, I guess, back then. Ooh, thank you very much.
Dariath.
Thank you, Seraph. Yeah, so you can go to the cafeteria.
Ooh, let's go to the cafeteria, John, because they're probably going to be having lunch. All the doctors pass through the cafeteria. Or maybe someone will know where they are.
Normal people to be in the cafeteria, or is this a cafeteria for patients also?
Patients also.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I don't say sounds good.
And you know what? We can get some Jell-O.
I just walked toward the cafeteria. I don't refuse to acknowledge anything you said.
Okay, so you were walking towards the cafeteria. You actually walk to the cafeteria. Nothing happens on the way. Poor Amos is just like literally still smoking a cigarette. He's got not much to do. He missed his chance.
I like to imagine that Ava and I will just get killed somewhere along this path.
Yes, that's exactly what it
Amos will literally just sit there smoking a cigarette for the rest of the day.
Amos is the kind of guy that he feels like if these two people die, it's no skin off my back. I'll still get the job done.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I've known you people for like 3 hours. I don't give a shit.
So, not even. It's been like an hour, guys.
Not even.
Yeah. Between talking about the stuff in the bag and walking to the hospital and this, it's probably been like an hour and a half.
Yeah. One of them almost pulled a knife on me, and the other one seems like they're batshit insane. So I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm chilling. No skin off my teeth. Go away.
You like Jell-O, all right?
I have to look up when Jell-O was invented.
Same person likes Jell-O.
Yeah, when was Jell-O invented? Is this another burrito thing again? Where like, was that around yet?
Okay, so you guys find the cafeteria. It's like literally a 3-4 minute walk. Not too bad. Now, while that is happening, the receptionist nurse, who seems like Maynard's character, Amos, does finally come back. She's obviously like, she's actually got some like blood on her. Not enough to really be worried about it, but little flecks here and there. And she's just like shaking her head and breathing a little harder. You know, she's not as young as she once was. And sits back down and just like puts one hand on her head and just starts going back to work.
So like in Aisha, like across the room from me, because I'm just sort
Yeah.
of sitting on a. Yeah. Okay. I just sort of poke up and go. It looked painful. This happen often?
It not before, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Everything was normal cases. It's been years since we had something so weird happen, but these last 2 weeks, first it was 1, and then it was 3, and then it was 5, and all these rumors have started. But I don't know anything about rumors. Okay, I don't try to pay no mind to rumors, but something is going on that I don't like. People are coming in here either as crazy as that guy was, or they're basically even speaking. They're just completely out of it, drooling, and I just don't know what's happening, but it's been happening for the last 2 weeks. We've admitted 9 people at this point. All of them men, all of them rather young, and all of them without much history or family in Arkham, so we're forced to take care of them. This is just another one on the list.
You mentioned Carbuncle. Where do I know that name?
Oh, that's part of the rumor, actually. Carbuncle. I guess you're not really from around here, are you, sir?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, well, you probably saw some of his, the signs out in the street. He hasn't been really showing off his artwork as of late, and that's got to do with the rumors, actually. I mean, he's apparently just all the money that he got from one of his gallery showings, he just suddenly came into a ton of money. Apparently, he's just been blowing it left and right. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, the next gallery showing's bound to be as good as the last one, which I just don't understand. Artists, how do they even actually make a living? It doesn't seem like a right profession to me, but that's fine. I don't know, but apparently he has been in with the wrong crowd, and these people coming in, who knows? It could be Carbuncle one day.
Sounds like an intriguing fella. I also have a friend with an artist portfolio that would love to meet him.
Well, I don't know how good he will. I don't know how willing he would be to take a look. I mean, I kind of remember the fellow from years ago. I've lived in Arkham my entire life, born and raised, married here, got a couple of my own kids. I kind of remember that Carbuncle kid. I mean, he was a decent little child. His parents died when he was really young, but art, I just don't understand. And the art that he did, I actually saw a painting. It was just the weirdest thing. I don't know who would ever buy that or why they would ever buy that, but so be it. But he has just gotten rotten, in my opinion. But that's, I try not to speak badly of people, but that's what I'm saying.
Things can happen in this world to change people, lady. We don't always stay the same.
And she kind of just sighs and says, I guess that's very true. Working here, I've seen a lot of people get into the wrong things. I don't know what's wrong with the world today. It's just, and especially since that war. It's affected a lot of people around here.
I just say cheers to that, and finish off a cigarette and just sort of end the conversation there.
All right.
Juicy bit of tidbit.
So, while it was happening, we do have the other 2 characters walking into the cafeteria. Now it's about 1:30, right? So there's still a decent amount of people coming in. Their shifts have just given them time to get some sort of lunch or dinner, whatever they would call it, actually, at that time, with that type of work. So you have about maybe like 10 doctors and maybe like 8 or 9 patients. Maybe a couple of visitors as well. It's a decently sized cafeteria.
I'm going to go up to someone in a doctor's jacket, coat, and ask if they've seen my uncle. What's the doctor's name?
Dr. Halston.
Yeah.
Halston. Halston.
Okay.
Have you seen my uncle, Dr. Halston?
The person you go up to, and of course the doctors are all men. He's an older gentleman.
Of course.
And he's a little confused why you're here, but figures that, well, either you're visiting someone or you are a patient that's healed. But as soon as you say that you are a relative to Dr. Halston, he kind of he's like, I'm sorry, you're a relative to Dr. Halston?
That's right. I mean, I'm a pretty distant relative, but he did say that if I am in the neighborhood and I need to stop on by, then I can come visit him. But he'd be real mighty mad at me if I didn't stop on by. So could you please point me in his direction?
No, she's talking to Dr. Austin, isn't she?
You do that thing like, he's like, he's a guy and you're him, aren't you?
That's not where I was gonna go with that, but I mean it's kind of close. Well, he just continues looking at you like you're just crazy. He's like, well, your accent's certainly not something I'm used to hearing. You're a distant relative of Dr. Halston?
Very distant, unfortunately. See, my mom brought me up in Australia because they said that the big old United States was just too busy and bustling for raising a family. So, I just wanted to say hi to Uncle Halston. You know where he is by any chance?
Well, young lady, I guess I mean, he's actually right over there. I don't know if you're supposed to recognize your own relative, but that's him.
Oh, see, my
eating an
eyesight's real
apple.
bad.
You must have staged
I just
his hair.
haven't gotten my glasses yet. That's all. Thank you. You've been very helpful. Appreciate ya.
He just watches you. You walk off. He's just very confused. This whole thing.
I picture in my brain Livy's character like just having like twigs and leaves sticking out of her hair. It's like wearing a potato sack and kind of like.
I just like the best part about this is that this guy's just like watching her walk away, like, but then like the guy that follows her is some like weird ass ugly.
I'm keeping a good distance from this.
Okay.
I do not want to be associated.
By the way, guys, I don't know if you've paid attention to feardragon's character, but apparently he's super ugly. It's actually a defining trait.
It helps me stay in stealth.
You said his face wasn't scarred.
Yeah. My face isn't scarred, but it is not pretty. It's like super asymmetrical and shit.
Yeah.
Where Livibee comes from, we call that a face like a drop pie.
I was ugly before I got like cut by my own knife.
Uglier than sin. Got it.
He's short and squat and ugly.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real
watch
ladies,
out,
man.
ladies. So, so this Dr. Halston is like in his 60s. He's really starting to show age. He's even looking maybe a little bit sickly. Maybe he's got cancer or something. You don't know because he's not actually your relative. And he is he looks like he's angry. He's like angrily chewing on his apple and minding his own business off kind of in the corner of the cafeteria.
Okay, so I'm going to approach Dr. Halston. And, I'm looking a bit nervous because I don't really know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to kind of make something up on the spot. And he's not a very nice character, so that's playing a part into my nervousness. And I got to him and I was like, oh, excuse me, Dr. Halston? And I don't think you know me very well, but I've been through a lot to be here, and I'm on a bit of a life journey right now. Dr. Halston, I think your hair looks really nice. Could you help me answer a few questions?
Roll persuade.
Oh, my persuade isn't very good.
Roll another 3.
Are you fucking real?
What the fuck?
I'm just being a persuasive.
Your point, man.
Holy shit.
Now we're in a battle. Your point, man.
She rolled a 5, guys, which again is just insanely good.
5% roll, basically.
Yeah, that's
God damn.
have to like, if she does it again, I'm just gonna like, be like, okay, everyone restart the program.
Livibee has actually been rolling a 1d6.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. So again, he's like angrily chewing on this apple, and he's like, he sees you walking up, and he's like, this weird looking woman. This guy's incredibly sexist and probably racist. And you do your little spiel, which apparently is more convincing than I expected. So he's a little put off guard because someone's talking to him that he doesn't know and has an Australian accent and just complimented his hair, and he's feeling like oddly okay with this because he did get a compliment. But basically he just kind of looks at you and he's like, "Who the hell are you?"
My name is Ava, but it's short for Avocado. I grew up in Australia and I've been on I've been on a life journey from the age of 16.
Okay. I don't need your life story. All right, girly. All right, like Jesus. Okay. What do you want? What are you doing here? What do you want with me?
I was hoping that you could help me with that. Actually, see,
Tell me why I'm here, please.
So first of all, to start from the beginning, I received this letter, okay, and it told me to meet at this train station, and there I met like these two other people that didn't know why they were there either, but I'm pretty sure they got like a similar letter. And in the bag that we got from this random homeless chick, it had like all these items in it, and then in that bag with the items, it had like some newspaper clippings. Which I have here and I pull off the little bag off the stick and I show him the sticky newspaper clippings. And I said,
specifically the sticky one.
Yeah, the sticky one's the most important, I point out. And I said, so these really bizarre, strange things have been happening, and you're the doctor that was on the case, so that says in this article. I was wondering if you could shed a little bit more light on the situation so that we could probably solve this mystery and I could finally find out my true identity. See, I don't know who my parents are, and I was raised by kangaroos.
Yeah. We're okay.
And I'm a little bit cold and a little hungry, and
I'm just really nervous and I don't know what I'm doing in life. Could you be my dad? Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Crusher of Cities. The treatment for hysteria was losing popularity.
That was a
Good.
fun time.
Good.
The doctors back in the day.
So he just wanted to shut you up, and he's like, "Look, lady, I was there for this, as it says in this newspaper clippings. I mean, it's done and done. Like there wasn't no rain causes burns. It's impossible. All right, this is some I don't know." Cult activity. They're trying to cover up something stupid that they did. I mean, there are plenty of things in this town. I haven't lived here the entire time, only about the last, 30 years. God forbid I'm here for another year. Please, God, take me from this land. But I've been here a while. I heard some weird things. There's some weird things that happened so long ago, and people like to make all these horror stories and mysteries, and I just think it's all horse shit. And I'm not here to listen to people's conspiracy theories, to listen to people all lie to me. I don't care if they were 5 years old or 68 years old. They all lied to me. I'm just here to do whatever they need to get out of this door. Now, some of them didn't end up leaving. Okay, and that's not my fault.
Did they die?
Yes, they died. That's why they didn't leave. Although, I guess I will say one of them didn't actually die, but basically counted as death. She don't talk. She doesn't. She's entirely
potato?
wrapped. I mean, yes, she is a potato.
I like that the two socially inept people are the only ones going around talking.
We just lost the smooth talker entirely.
We left behind the only socially adept.
I just smooth talk the fuck out of receptionist. I'm just shaking shit, man.
Oh, that's true.
She did, yes.
Real sad, mister.
Life is sad. Life is full of crap. I mean, as a woman, you probably never will understand. Go get married. Go have your children. I mean, how old are you? 20? Where's your husband?
haven't met the right person yet.
You haven't met the right person. That's, oh my God, kids these days, Jesus. God, good Lord. Go, like, you are missing out on your birthing years, lady. Like, I am a doctor. I will tell you right now, every year that you wait. Good Lord.
But what about the sticky clipping, sir? I really need to know about it.
I told you what I told you. What else am I supposed to say about this?
What about the one where they start talking before they die?
Oh, that one? He picks up the other piece of the newspaper. This is another conspiracy, okay? Like, I heard one of these guys, one of our patients, I mean, actually, it was kind of recently. Yeah, it's stupid. It's nothing, okay? Occasionally, when people die, they have one last, burst of life. They try and do something before they're dead, tell their loved one that they love them. I don't care. But that's what they do, and that's what happened here. And in this case, the guy who came in last week, I mean, he just didn't have anything important to say, so it all came out as dribble. But ain't unnatural to me.
Was there any link between these people, these patients that died?
I don't. I mean, this clipping here is from years ago. I don't know when maybe the asylum got a bunch of people. I don't know, but whenever a nurse came up to me, because I was there, I've been, as I said, 30 years in the hospital. But when a nurse came up to me,
was from 8 months ago.
The Reign of Terror or the
yeah, both.
No, the Dead Speak is from 1925.
Oh, my bad.
Fucking got him. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Keeper. Sorry, Keeper. Go on, Keeper. My bad.
When they came up to me, I just told them exactly what I told you. It happens sometimes, and while it was it was weird, how many times it happened. It does happen. So here we are, 3 years later. It happened again. But what do you expect me to tell you? This guy was crazy. He was getting all, I don't know, doing opiates or something. And he just took too much. He overdosed. And the last thing he said was just a bunch of gobbledygook.
Oh. Interesting. Well, you sure have a mighty sad outlook on life, sir. Maybe, do you want a hug?
He actually sets down his apple and he's like, if you touch me, I will spank you.
Nice.
Jeez. I gesture over to John at that point, and I tell him to
immediately turn away and start walking toward food or something. Just pretend like I don't know her.
John, don't be an idiot. We need to work out what's going on. This is the reason we're here. It's the reason you cut your hand. To talk to the doctor, bro. Come over
John,
here.
talk to the doctor, bro.
Begrudgingly walk over.
Friend John, mister, and he wanted to ask you a question, if that's okay. Thank you for your time.
What is wrong with your face, son?
I just shoot a look at Ava, and I'm like, eyes wide open, like, what the hell? You want me to ask a question? And I finally just turn to him, and I kind of say, like, do you know anything about, what they were saying at the end of their lives?
I told you it was just gobbledygook. I told this lady here, right? Like, you get her to tell everything.
Was there any commonality between the people doing it?
What? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. As I said, the most recent occurrence was just some crack addict, whatever the alternative 1920s word was for it.
Opium addict, yeah, whatever.
Opium addict, drunk.
I think Prohibition was 1917, so I think you could actually say they were an alcoholic.
Yeah, but people actually, I did do a decent amount in the Prohibition to make sure that we all could have the opportunity to get drunk at some point. Apparently, it's just not super regulated, especially the smaller that the city gets. Gotcha. So, first of all, they would easily find a speakeasy. And second of all, I don't think even like the older people are judging them that much. They actually are probably also kind of upset with Prohibition.
Plus, this guy seems like he drinks, probably.
Probably has his own little stash of moonshine from 20 years ago. Prohibition ended in 1932. That is correct. It's 1928. So, anyways,
Prohibition never started or ended in Australia. We're partying hard here in our island.
Libibee's character's gonna be like, "It's party," and they're gonna be like, "No."
Let's fucking do it.
So yeah.
So what did he say about the last person? The most.
Yeah. He just said he was he was addicted to opium. He overdosed, and he went off and said what he had nothing important to say. That's why he said a bunch of random crap. All right, and the other guys, I don't know. It was 2 years ago. 3 years ago. I do math. So I don't remember what was common between them. Honestly, I'm getting really tired of your questions. All right, I'm forced to eat this apple because apparently it's good for me, and my wife will have a fit if I don't eat what she made. This I'm done here. And he actually just like throws the apple at you and gets up.
I make an attempt to catch the apple.
Strawberries are more healthy than apples.
Yes, you can try and do I don't even know.
Because I'm going to throw the apple back at him. Fuck this guy.
It'd be like a reflex check. So I guess dexterity check.
Okay.
You just punch the apple midair and it just like powers through.
You failed.
Oh my god. How? This is like one of my best
So you try to be like, like flipping cool ninja shit. You're like actually like the apple comes at you and you're like gonna be like this. But instead
it was my injured arm.
You just
It's lighter than I expected. I've lost a lot of blood.
The wind took it.
It's like that slow poke, like the apple hits you and then like you're like, ugh. So the doctor thinks that you're ugly and
ugly
mentally
and
handicapped.
Yeah.
And just like kind of walks away looking at you.
I turn to the doctor and say, "Where's your office? I need to see you about my face."
Son, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't do a damn thing about your face.
Where is your office?
He just leaves. He's done talking with you.
I followed him. He's gonna take me to his office one way or another.
This is gonna be a good time. I'm gonna let my dog back inside the house. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm missing all this because it promises to be amazing.
So he assumes you'll back off once he exits the cafeteria, but as he goes through the swinging doors, you apparently do not back off. He takes a right, and then he realizes that you're still following him, and he's like, "Child, what are you doing?"
Well, I already know that it's a right out of the cafeteria to get to his office, so I've already learned something.
So I asked you a question.
I still had another question, if that's okay, because...
Are you following him too?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Do you have any more information of what happened that night?
What night?
The night of the rain.
The rain. Okay.
Like it was only 8 months ago, man, and
it was 2 years
there
ago.
must be more. Okay.
Oh no, you're right. The reign of terror was only 6 months ago.
So you must have a fresh memory about it. It was just a very unusual event that had occurred. So do you think? I know you reject a lot of these notions, but maybe if we had a little bit of open mind, you might have some information that had occurred because it really helped me out. Your outfit, it looks good with your eyes.
He's still pretty pissed at because I figure that John was probably being a little more aggressive with his stalking, whereas Avocado was probably just kind of looking to get more information, which is exactly what happened. So he's still angrily looking at John, and he still is not willing to have any more conversation really. But he was not looking at you. He just says, "It was a weird night, but that's all I can say. I don't have anything else to add, except that a bunch of people came in and lied. That's my stance.
They lied.
Stop following me." And he leaves.
Okay. I let him go, but I'm watching where he goes. Can I tail him back to his office discreetly, pretending like I let him leave?
Yeah. Roll self
Actually,
check.
can I confirm something? If someone has files on a patient, that would be in their office, right?
The doctor would. The presiding
Or
doctor
would this be in a totally separate place? Am I completely barking up the wrong train?
That's actually a really good question. I figured that the doctor would have very specific notes, like a copy of what could be just in literally the reception, like there's usually big stacks of folders behind the reception. They probably have more detailed notes, but they also probably get a copy or like the base copy from that section. So you maybe don't even have to go to his office. You could have just tried to like sneak behind the receptionist desk.
Okay. In light of this, leave Doctor alone.
Thank you, Publius.
Realization, yeah.
So a couple different places, I guess they would store their information.
Okay.
But you can try and
Ava and I say like we should get that file. This guy's useless.
Okay. So what do you do?
So behind the receptionist desk, right?
Yeah.
Which would still be past the door, which we still need to get past anyways, so.
Well, you guys would have to go back to where Maynard is.
Okay, yeah. I think that's the direction I would start heading.
Yeah. Okay. No one's gonna stop you. Although there might be a nurse or two that walks past and wonders why like two seemingly healthy people are just walking out. So you walk out and the receptionist that's there that was talking with y'all and Maynard is like what were you doing? What were you doing in there?
Well, my friend here obviously cut his wrist, if you can't remember. And then
Idiot.
I needed to go check on him. Duh. Hello, we just spoke.
I know that he needed medical attention, so I'm confused as to why he's back out here. I don't recall letting through. This is the receptionist, not the nurse.
Your friend knows that it was okay. She said it was A-okay.
Who was this?
Should have said me.
I don't remember. Bye.
I also just...
It's like, you should be keeping a closer eye on those air vents. See ya!
Did we ever hear the name of the...
The what?
The recent patient from the Dead Speak. No, not the Dead Speak. From Rain and Terror. No. We don't know the name of the patient, do we?
Well, there's no names at all, except for
there's no
Dr.
names.
The recent death that he mentioned.
Recent death was a dead speaker.
Okay,
it was a death cry.
Gotcha.
All you know is that he was also talking crazy and acting crazy and probably opiated up.
Okay.
Opiated.
Wordsmith.
Okay. John just kind of turns to both of the other two and kind of just says, like, we should go to that gallery. This place is useless.
But wait, John, don't you want to check to see what their names were? Maybe their family names stayed with it? The patients that went crazy on the opiated ways.
Do you know them?
No, but there's got to be files behind that reception desk.
Do you want to read every file in this hospital?
Well, only the ones in the last week. Happened recently.
How are the files organized? Are they alphabetized?
Listen, a will's on their way. When there's a will, there's a way, my dude.
This is so funny. I love it.
I kind of just glance over the receptionist. I'm like, and the guard's on the inside, right?
Yes.
Are there any other people in the room?
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 other people that are waiting. Someone has like a broken. It looks like a mom with a child that maybe has a broken arm, and a guy who is breathing rather heavily.
How far are they from the door?
The door to the more hospital.
The 2 people sitting.
Wait, what?
Actually, no. Never mind. That's a bad plan.
Then you cause a distraction.
One of them would get
grab the box of files.
Maynard, does your character have anything to say?
Well, I just be like, everyone's making noises like it's assumed information here, and we should leave. And I'm just like, well, hold on. What did you find?
Listen
Nothing.
here. No, Amos, we found some really interesting information with the doctor that was treating patients. I think he might actually be clinically insane. But
I think
regardless,
you're clinically insane, but
he threw an apple at us, dude. Okay, and then he said that it was supposed to be healthy for him, but he didn't eat it. And like everyone knows, strawberries have more vitamin C anyway. I think we should get the files because he did say that last week there was a case where there was like the guy that spoke all the languages before he died.
was that a sentence?
We need to find the file. What do you think?
Okay. Personally, I think I have the ability to be underhanded here, but I don't know if I don't know anything about this filing system. I don't know where they are. I don't know who I'd need to get through to get to them. This seems like a big shot in the dark.
A shot we could take easily. It's behind the desk at the reception.
How do you know that?
Because the Mr. Halston actually insinuated it when we spoke to him just 5 minutes ago.
Okay. John,
All right,
your
you're
thoughts?
in? You in?
John.
Could kill her.
Hold on, Ava. Hold on. The men are speaking, okay?
Oh, shit.
John.
I could kill the receptionist, but I think that someone else would get out and we'd have another problem. So I'm out of ideas.
I don't recommend killing anyone.
Why?
I didn't come to Arkham to spend all the time behind bars. I came here for answers.
I need answers.
Well, you
too.
won't if you're good at it. I'm like completely straight faced and actually confused right now.
Well, are you good enough to kill this lady without anyone seeing it?
Look around. I just don't even answer. I look around and I'm like,
Do we need to kill anyone? Like, you'd probably just lock her in the janitor's closet.
Is there a janitor's closet?
Of course there is.
receptionist, I have dropped something in the janitor's closet. Will you pick it up for me?
This janitor's closet. Keep it, come back. The party's stuck. Without you, we don't know what to do.
I told you what we could do. We just need
Right.
to lock him in the janitor's closet, go through the files. We don't even have to go through them here. We just grab the bunch that happened in the last week and then skedaddle and go through them in the cafe down the street.
From what I recall about being in a hospital, I don't recall seeing a janitor's closet on the side of the reception.
Is there a bathroom?
There might have been bathrooms, yeah. Do you know what?
I actually don't know about that.
Okay.
Why didn't someone? Oh my god, the receptionist guided me to the room. I should have done this then.
Yeah,
Oh my god, wait. I cut my other arm.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Keepers out.
Feardragon's so clever.
Oh my, actually,
What a god.
okay.
An actual god.
Okay.
He's like, wait, I have two arms. This is perfect.
No. Better idea. All right. So I said, like, okay, I'll create an opening. You guys better find that file. And if you don't find the file, take all of the files. And I just start walking over to the receptionist desk and rolling up my sleeve, and I rip all the bandages off. All right, I rip half of the bandages off, not all of them.
Just for real.
And I go up to the receptionist and say, the doctor did a terrible job of bandaging me. I am still bleeding.
Good job, John. Good job. Tell me one for the team.
Surely he's lost a hit point at this stage.
I'll take a hit point.
I'll say that ripping off the bandages haphazardly loses you a hit point.
Okay. Where are hit points on this?
Yeah,
Okay,
there
I
should
found
be maxing current. I'm honestly not sure how hospitals file.
This is going great.
Yeah.
Swimmingly.
So the receptionist, who is again like she's already like a little suspicious of you guys. Like she's been watching you all interact. You were by far the most interesting thing that's happened to her. all day.
Except for the guy with a hole in his stomach, but I guess that's standard affair.
No,
for
I
most
Oh, that's
do
people.
actually a good
everything
standard.
I can,
That's standard, yeah.
as I notice that she's like looking at me somewhat skeptically, to literally try and bleed on her to make
Oh
this
my
like,
God.
more like aggressively like this needs to be handled right the fuck now.
Like a massive medical faux pas.
Yeah.
She's like, sir, did you bandage that yourself?
No, the doctor did a terrible job.
It's just like literally backing away from you. Are you like reaching over the counter?
No, I don't want security to get involved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the police officers like seeing this happen. And man, what would you even do? God, I guess she'd be like, cause she, the Hippocratic oath and all that. She'd be like, okay, like you know where the room is, like let him through the room. She points to the
I'm
door.
feeling lightheaded. Guide me there.
You're like,
I've lost a lot of blood because your doctors are terrible.
okay, so she
I
says,
want a different doctor this time.
This sounds like a persuasion to me.
Work it, John. Work it.
No, this
By
sounds
the
like
way,
persuasion.
I'm not just doing a terrible job of role playing this. This is actually the voice that I'm using. Like the doctor did a terrible job. I would like a different doctor.
She's actually, I would not say she's going to be persuaded. She is worried, first and foremost, about, like, dealing with the blood. So she's going to actually direct him out. But as she is leaving, she says, hey, Tony, like, watch the room. These guys are weird, and sends him through the door. Tony being the police officer.
God damn it, feardragon.
Moss, you gotta distract the police officer.
Well, I got rid of one person.
Well, you know what, Livy? You've been rolling like a god tonight, so I think it's. I think this persuasion rolls on you. Honestly, you got to give us another 3.
All right,
Do it.
all right, fine. I go up to, but you know where the files are, right, Amos? Before we execute this plan, like.
Absolutely not. I've never been behind that desk before. I've only been in front of it.
It's not a very big desk. You just gotta find the box of files and you gotta get them.
I mean, if you can give me the time, I will try and find the files. I'll try.
Okay, it happened a week ago.
Don't even know what we're looking for.
Got it. We want recent
All
files.
patients.
Got
We're just gonna look for all patients a week ago.
all patients, and then.
We don't have a name, and we don't even know what in the file we're looking for.
So what if we
character? I just want to
get
point
into the
that
filing
out.
cabinet? All right. What if we get into this filing cabinet and you tell me to grab everything near the front of the drawer, which is recent or something like that, and all I grab is A because it's alphabetical and not chronological? What if that happens?
No, it's all gonna
What
be.
if
Patient files after they get discharged.
Listen, you just gotta.
my
roll
point
up.
is what if it's not sorted chronologically? All right, that's all my point is. For me to grab a bunch of files, they would need to be all be sorted chronologically
If
for
this
this
person
plan.
is dead,
What
would
if
their
they're not
files
sorted
be there?
chronologically?
Well, if we could get a name, then we could probably inspect the body in the morgue.
But how
And
did we get
how
this
are you
name
getting
to
back
me while
there
that person
again?
is
Would
gone?
be nice if there was a computer.
And computers aren't going to be invented for another 40 years.
Oh, gee. Well, I'm sure there's not
not
really
40
that
years.
many.
Actually, is there computers yet? The ones
No,
that
it's
click the
1920.
Yeah, there
Not
would
the
be.
ones
a
with
computer.
screens.
No,
Not in the
no.
hospital, though.
A turning machine wasn't made until World War II,
Oh shit!
Thanks
which was
to
the predecessor
Alan
of computers.
Alan Turing.
Yeah.
What a god!
Yeah, he was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be able to stream if it
Benedict
wasn't for him.
It's true.
Cucumber.
So
What?
no.
You said cucumber for some reason?
Yeah, Benedict Cucumber played the.
Oh right, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep.
I remember that movie. It was a good movie.
Mhm.
I mean, shit. We're balls deep here. Go and get your distraction on. I will try and find this file.
All right.
Do it.
So I walk over to the police officer, obviously on the opposite side of where the receptionist desk is, so I avert his attention. And I go to the opposite. And it's like, "Excuse me, sir. Officer, what's your name?"
Tony, ma'am.
Oh, Officer Tony. I love your name. I love it so much. Do you like cupcakes?
Well, yeah, yes, I actually do like cupcakes?
I made some cupcakes. Well, not me per se, but my mom made some cupcakes just yesterday. But she said I should get them out to everyone at the hospital because she made too many. Did you want one?
Well, yes, I would love the
All right,
cupcake,
well,
but
let me
but I'm really not supposed. I don't know who you are, and I'm supposed to stay here and
Are cops
watch.
still stereotypically inhaling donuts in the 20s, or when did that kick in?
No, I don't think so.
I think it was
That's
just
a good
bagels
question.
at the time.
Just
Bagels? That's definitely how they're
I mean,
pronounced.
we're in Boston-ish, or sorry, Massachusetts.
They're still bagels in Boston. Okay.
I'll take the accent. You call it bagel.
Park to car on the bagel.
I'm 100% sure it's not bagel in Boston.
I was born in Boston.
I was there for a while. I'm pretty sure when I said bagel, they gave me a circular piece of bread. Suspiciously, not like a bagel.
It was a new amount of town.
All right.
Yeah. Apparently, it's more of a Canadian thing. Actually, I remember making fun of Rifkin for that. Him and his bagels. So yeah, he says he can't leave his post, and also he doesn't know you. Stranger danger.
Officer Tony, they're cream cheese frosted cupcakes.
Roll.
Does sound delicious. Go ahead and roll your persuasion.
Do it.
I swear to God.
Give us another one of those low numbers, Livy. Come on, Livy. Come on, Livy. One time. Shit.
Oh.
Damn it.
I cannot
Finally.
believe you succeeded 2 persuades with 10% chance.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh my God.
We wanted that. We wanted that number 4 or number 3 again, Livy.
Looks like it's your turn.
All right, so it's a fail, and he says, well, that does sound delicious. I'd be glad to take you up on that offer when my shift's done in about 6 hours, but...
You think I'm going to be around by then? I got shit to do, bro.
Just flips him off and leaves.
Just literally Twitch chat. You're so great. No, I don't think so. Fuck you then. You're ugly. Okay. All right, Twitch chat.
Give it a go, bro. I can't deal.
So that didn't work.
Look, I'm gonna step in front like, sir, I apologize for my companion here. How about a bagel? I'm gonna persuade check.
I cut myself for this.
I'm going for a persuade. I'm rolling. I'm going. All right. Where is it? I'm gonna find it. There it is.
It's alphabetical, much like the files probably are.
Wait. How about? That's not a roll. Ignore it. How about sweet talk? Because I have that.
Is that a higher percentage?
Yes.
Actually, I wonder what the difference is. I wonder if this is a
I
flirting
wink at him
thing
after
versus
I
a
say it.
not
That's
flirting thing.
Wait, I don't see sweet talk.
There's isn't it smooth talk or something?
Smooth talk. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was
I
gonna say
don't
sweet
see
talk
that
might be
either.
like a flirting thing.
Yeah. That's pillow talk.
Like
He could swing that way, you know what I mean?
I mean, he could.
In the 20s if he'd done.
I don't know what I'd roll to make the guy, on this, on like the spectrum, but the gay spectrum, right?
I'd have to
1
get
through
some pretty
7
good
or whatever
rolls.
it is. But
Where I can't see it in here. I got persuade.
let me see where you at.
Jump. I definitely had it when I sent you my character thing, but I can't see it in the thing in the skills tab.
Let me double check. Maybe you did, and then it got deleted somehow.
Just trying to game me out of a win here, Keeper. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely. You have charm.
Charm, perfect.
There we go.
Rolling. Oops, that was climb. It says climb.
Climbed all over
Guys.
you.
Guys, please ignore. All right, here we go. Fuck my life.
Ooh. Did you chance to work, and it did not. He looks at you and he says, well, sir, I kind of like cupcakes better, but as I said, I just can't leave anyways. What are you all trying to do here? You all are acting real funny.
You're just looking a little skinny, sir. We're just trying to get you fed.
He's actually like 20 pounds overweight. He's like, oh, well, thank you, but Yeah, she gave me this job, that nice little, that nice old receptionist you got right there. I don't want to be letting her down. So, just gonna tell you to go back and sit down, please and thank you.
Sure.
Well, actually, Officer Tony, that receptionist nurse gave me something to give to you in private. I think she like you.
Persuade.
Are we allowed to keep persuade rolling until we actually get a success? Because it sounds like that's what we're trying to do right now. I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that.
No, eventually there will be a cutoff. Don't forget, guys, in this system, you can actually push rolls as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which I will be forcing if you continue to try and persuade this guy.
I need more alcohol for this.
Are you going for a push roll, Livy? For 10%?
What's a push roll?
That's where you get massive penalties if you.
Yeah. So in this case, there's different ways to persuade the guy, but if it was one of those things where you only have one shot to do something, and you failed, you could be like, you know what, I'm going to push it, and if it wins, great, but if it loses, then something really terrible happens.
Bad consequences.
So you can persuade him again with the whole that girl, the old lady who's married with children.
Yeah, but he
has a thing for you.
He fancies her, you can tell.
You would need a hard success for this as well.
One sec, my game was.
Yeah, I saw.
Are we pushing? What do you think? Should we push?
I mean, you want to push, you go for it. It's your character.
Oh, gee. I'm quite fond of Abby. Okay.
Man, I can't wait to see what Guacamole, Olivia's new character, looks like.
Guacamole.
Where did my character go?
Olivia's name is like
Mole.
Guacamole, Mrs. Mole.
All right, I'm gonna push.
The middle
Holy
initials
moly.
A. Guac A mole.
That just hit the table.
33
oh,
fail.
Same.
Yeah. So again, he's getting actually a little annoyed with this line of questioning and insinuating that his good friend would cheat on her husband, who's also a good friend of his, and says, I don't know what game you all are playing, but I don't appreciate it. I don't like my feelings being toyed with. I don't like my friends being told that they are, adulterers. No, I don't appreciate it. Please sit back, or I will have to escort you out of this building.
All right, sir. You got it, Officer Tony. Don't mean no trouble here. Just
They're about to leave me in the fucking hospital.
I won't leave you.
Amos.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge that this is happening, though.
No. Feardragon is. I guess by the time you came up to him the second time and being denied, that's probably when the receptionist comes back. Because her job was just to be like, here, stay here, and a doctor will get to you. So she comes back and she nods to Tony and sits back in her little chair behind the desk.
Mm-hmm. Well, that failed. Next.
I'm kind of done with this hospital, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the rich guy.
Do we need that ugly bleeding weirdo?
Yeah, it kind of brings the group down.
He does a bit.
Oh,
he seems kind of slow.
He might be an integral part of there was all our three names on that homeless person, homeless chick, pickpocketed chick. So maybe we should wait for him.
I'll give him a few minutes.
Feardragon, what do you do?
Am I in a room by myself now?
You're in a room by yourself again, waiting for the doctor.
I re-bandage myself.
You are bandaged. Albeit sloppily. I mean, you do have first aid. Actually, you know what? This time roll a first aid.
Oh God. I already lost a hit point. What are you gonna do to me?
Oh.
Okay, you failed a
What are
first
you
aid.
gonna do to me? No, I'm gonna push it. Because pushing a first aid roll could never go wrong.
Oh, gee.
Dude.
Regular.
I have a
Hold on, though.
I have a high success rate for first aid. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that should be all you have to do is roll a second roll, as far as I can remember. So lucky you. Even though honestly the first heal wasn't gonna do very much, but that's fine. So you do bandage yourself up nicely. It should be checked again. So keep in mind that you should actually re-bandage it in a daze, probably 24 hours later. And not like get it wet or with anyone else's blood on it.
Get anyone else's blood on
I'm just throwing it out there.
Getting your wound.
Yeah. I mean, I know your profession. And you are allowed to leave, which, again, leaving 5 minutes later, the receptionist just stares at you.
Wait.
She basically just...
This would actually be the strangest day in that receptionist's life, probably. And
Wait,
she's
no,
had
I didn't-
screaming occultists and people come in here with burned by rain.
Wait,
and we're probably the weirdest thing she's seen.
Wait, did I just go back to the lobby?
Didn't you?
That's
You
the way
bandaged
out.
yourself up and
Oh
that's...
no, I thought I was okay. Well, I guess actually, yeah, that is what I would do because I wasn't going in for any reason other than to distract.
Yeah, right. So
I just-
you go to the
actually
lobby.
I don't even stop by the receptionist. I just keep.
Oh, I
straight
assume.
walk straight out the door.
She
If
just
stops
sees
me,
you
Does
walking.
she say anything?
No, she's just like, what the fuck? In her mind, okay, someone came in, asked her a question. Crazy guy came in, nice chat with, Maynard's character. And then you walked out with a bleeding arm, shoved it in her face, was demanded to go back in to get it fixed, and then came back out 5 minutes later with probably still a bleeding arm. She doesn't actually want to deal with you guys anymore, especially you.
Yeah. She's like out of the 6 or 7 interactions I've had with these 3 people, one of them was almost human, and that was when this guy with a cigarette was talking about the old days.
Yeah, she likes Amos. He's fine. The girl, I mean, she's eccentric, but maybe okay. She's probably one of them artists, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artsy fartsy people.
I leave and I join up with them, and I'm like, "Did you get the files?"
I'm just like, we didn't get anything. We wasted our goddamn time in
Listen,
here.
it's a sensitive topic. Don't bring it up.
I just look at them.
Don't bring it up. It's a touchy subject.
Oh, that's such a good
You
point.
didn't just grab all of them.
Listen, man, do you want to go and do it? Tony's a hardcore badass in
You
there.
want to roll some more, man? Because you've been rolling so good.
I'm gonna say
John
that
just looks back at the hospital, looks at his bag that has his rifle in it, looks at the hospital, looks at Amos. Let's go to the fucking gallery. Just walk.
oh, thank God.
he was like, I'm gonna take out this whole hospital. Oh my god.
I was gonna take you guys out too. Jesus Christ.
I am not looking forward to having to do your sanity in the future. You're gonna be like, I saw something really horrific. I think I'm gonna go kill people now. Okay, so you go. Oh, what do you mean by go to the gallery? What is your plan right now?
We want to find Carbuncle's joint.
Okay.
Because I heard about him from the lady. I filled him. I was just filled him in on the. I don't know if it's walking distance or. We actually don't know how to get there.
Well, we saw all the things around town.
We saw the posters, but I personally have never been to Arkham. I'm not. I don't.
assume. Well, I know I've been to Arkham, but I also assume that these posters would, if they're advertising a gallery, they would say where the gallery was.
Yeah, it would say where, but I could tell you that, something is around in this part of South Australia, and you would still not know how to get there.
Google map it.
Imagine in a role-play environment that we're in 1928 and Google Maps doesn't exist just yet.
Okay. Is there a role I can make for this?
For Google mapping? Not so much.
with Google Mapping. Can I roll for my phone's battery and
Can I
also
roll for hacking?
and whether it's 4G or 5G, please?
Hacker man. For like what, sense of direction, or
I guess like knowing, because we have an address. I mean, that or like just asking someone, I guess.
We would know it from posters, but we don't know where. Okay, you know what? Before we leave the hospital, because I'm the only one that's sensible. All right?
Oh,
because
really?
I'm the only one that's treated one of these characters in this story like a human fucking being. I'm going to go up to this lady.
Hey, I treated that little girl like a human being. I didn't kill her.
That was extremely gracious of you. You're a benevolent god. I'm going to try asking this receptionist. I'm going to say,
He went back in.
no. We're on our way out, all right? We're not out yet. Say, look, ma'am, we're gonna get out of your hair. I'm sorry about my friends here, but we were speaking about Carbuncle earlier, and you may not like him, but we need to ask him some questions. So you wouldn't happen to know directions to this gallery, would you? Where all these people are coming from?
she kind of looks behind you at the door to make sure that the people aren't coming in. Yeah, I could direct you to where the gallery was. There's a little space between Joe's Bakery and I think it used to be a tailor shop, but I'm not sure what it is anymore. As I said, I didn't think his art was very good. I don't think art in general is very good. But I'm afraid it won't be much use. His last showing was a couple months ago, and all I've heard is that he's been blowing his money left and right. I mean, the best thing that you would really have, I guess, is to try and go to his house. But even that, I mean, people aren't even sure that he's living there anymore. But that's all I could say for that. If you want to actually talk to him.
Out of interest, where is this house?
Oh, he bought one of those almost. I mean, it's like a mansion. Honestly, it's outside of town though, and he does not hire anyone to keep it. It used to be kind of it was a nice home. It was an old home, but it was a nice one, and he bought it out from the family. They're more than happy to let it go, and yeah, it's just a little bit out of town, maybe like a 20-30 minute walk north of here. Just you're gonna look, go outside, and you're gonna look north. I guess the direction of the sun, you would actually know. North, and let's see here. What would it be next to? Actually, would be kind of tougher to actually give you an exact point that's easy to find. Let's see. She says follow. I don't even know, Gulliver Street.
Nice.
For about let's say 20 minutes, and then turn right on. Kerrigan Lane.
Kerrigan Lane.
There we go.
Because we're all StarCraft people. I get it. Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
And by then you should be a little out of town, as I said, and then you should see it up kind of on a hill. It's not surrounded by very much. It's a little decrepit, as I said. You should recognize it.
I think I can spot a mansion, ma'am. Much obliged. I'm out of there.
Okay, roll intelligence to remember those directions. Just kidding.
Straight down Gulliver and right down Kerrigan. Gulliver for 20 minutes, right down. I got this. My education score is actually shit though. My guy. I mean, he's a preacher from Arkansas, so he's not like super learned.
Yeah, but education, learning, or memorizing rather. Okay, so you guys go to the mansion.
Let's go.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Oh
Let's go to the mansion. Oh my god.
Let's go, guys. New adventures.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's say that nothing much happens. You do like about 15-20 minutes into the walk, as she said, you're gonna turn right on Kerrigan Lane. And by that point you're kind of already a little out of the city. Not exactly the whole way, but you start seeing more and more forests and more houses instead of businesses. And then about 10-15 minutes later, you do see the house on the hill. Very small hill, but you still see it, and it is fairly recognizable. It's the only place. It is basically a mansion, at least as the Civil War mansions would be, right? So maybe not today's mansions. And
like an old money kind of place.
yeah, exactly, like a plantation house, I guess. But a little bit bigger than that even. And it's not super well taken care of, but it's not the worst thing you've ever
Twitch
seen.
chat, okay? We know it's 2019.
Yeah. So it's not the most decrepit place you've ever seen, but it doesn't exactly look it's been real well kept. At this point, it is maybe 2 or 2:30 p.m. So it's it's nice and bright. Really not much spookiness to happen. But you are now kind of out of town, and there's very few people walking by. In fact, there's really no one walking by because you do start to go down what I guess would be their like driveway. Which is, as mansions go, is like another 5-minute walk to the actual house.
So is this like a pretty fucked up place? Is there like any staff outside, or like is it ruined? Is it?
So as I said, it's not the worst place you've ever seen, but noticeably the grass has not been cut. There's spots of grass growing in that driveway, which is a dirt path. A single window has I don't even know what the word for it, but the frame of it, the wooden frame that kind of decorates it, has been chipped away. A couple of, I don't think it's an awning. But anyways, a couple loose shutters, weather shutters, whatever they're called.
Blinds?
No, not blinds. Literally the like weather doors. You would close them on the windows.
Yeah, shutters.
Now they're usually fake now, but they used to be real. Anyways, and it does look to be abandoned. There's no cars, there's no bikes, and as I said, like it's kind of like a little out of the way, but even you can kind of notice that like a lot of people that you were around went kind of in different directions in the house. But it's not the creepiest thing you've ever seen. It's not the worst place you've ever seen.
Yep. My character's definitely seen worse.
Yeah.
We're I guess group.
Actually, you know what? It's definitely later than 2:30. You guys spent a lot of time at the hospital, but still, it's not. It's like midday. Midday.
Is this an open
Midday.
like, entry gallery, just like an open house?
It's not a gallery. It's a mansion. You guys did not go to the gallery. You decided to go to his actual house.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure it's like haunted too, right?
You guys haven't really gotten much information on the house. Just what that lady told you.
I thought she said it was haunted.
She said that it wasn't taken care of, and that there's rumors that there's actually I already
messed up
forgot
shit
what I said.
happened.
Yeah, that he was involved with bad people, and she's not even sure that he lives there anymore.
Okay. All right. Oh boy, this is scary, guys. Are you sure you want to rock up at this guy's place? It looks kind of unmaintained.
Are there phones in the 1920s?
We did find out there were phones last time.
Yes.
There were payphones spread around for like police officers.
Can I make a call?
No.
Okay.
I don't think there's a phone near here. There might be a phone in the house. But
There was I think it was what we said last time. In the 20s there was like phones on the street on like light poles for police to use.
Right.
Where you would get like but you'd have to like put a code in and say that a correct code to be able to use it.
And there just really isn't like a lot of lamps, poles around. You literally exit. There might have been. No, not even. I can't even say that. Woo! Thank you for that gifted sub.
The gifted geek and
I didn't mean to have music on for that, but that's fine.
All of a sudden, a gifted sub jumps out of the mansion.
And the gifted sub is a phone.
To check the Twitch alerts.
Guys, give 10 subs right now to give the party a phone.
Oh my god.
Oh.
10 out of 10 would play that campaign.
Yeah.
So right where you can. I just am not envisioning any place there'd be a phone.
Okay. Including inside the house?
Except inside the house.
Okay.
Of which we are now currently outside of.
Thank you.
Well, let's.
I'm having a good time trying to string. I feel like the translator between keeper and party. It's good.
Are
Group? Are we going inside? I mean, if it looks unkempt and it looks like no one's going to stop us, let's go.
Can we just kind of outline our goal here real quick before we kind of walk into this haunted place because what are we looking for? What do we expect to find? Like, I just want this to be an in and out mission. I'm not really keen on like dawdling around or spending the night. Let's just, just outline our goals so we know what we're doing.
You want to go in and out. I understand. That's right. Okay.
Nah.
Look, I don't know if you're paying attention, but this Carbuncle kid seems to be connected with a lot of the weird shit that's going on inside this podunk backwater town. And I want to check out if this guy's still around. I want some answers, and I'm tired of waiting for him. Let's get inside, find this person right now. Right now. Not in 10 minutes, not in 15 minutes, not in 2 minutes, right the hell now.
There's a single light on in the house. You think he's in there?
I believe it's 3 p.m.
Yeah, it's like 4 p.m.
Lights
Let's say.
on in the middle of the day.
What, you don't have all your lights on in the middle of the day? What are you, fucking weird? I do have a light on right now, actually.
While they're arguing, I literally just go knock on the door.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Avocado clearly does not like haunted shit. She's like freaking the fuck out over here. She doesn't want.
Right.
I've had experiences in the past.
Yeah, okay.
So you go to knock on the door, and it just goes ahead and swings open.
I close it
Poggers.
and leave.
You guys
I
didn't hear the
say
sound
in
effects, but it was
1928 terminology, PogChamp.
Not good. That's the first sign of hauntedness.
In Avocado's like list of hauntedness, okay, number 1 is a door that just opens.
The doors opening by themselves.
It wasn't
Haunted.
by itself.
Avocado. I've had this experience where if I apply pressure to a door, it does swing open by itself. It's happened once or twice in my life, provided it's unlocked and on.
All right. Okay, I'm just freaking out, guys. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun.
Stay close to me. I'll protect you. All right, little lady.
I'll be here at the back.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back and say like, let me check ahead before all of us go in.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and stealthily like scout out ahead and see it, like try and stay close to walls, like try and be as discreet as possible, walk quietly, and see if I can spot anybody specifically or anything.
Anybody? No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That included, based on the one shot.
So it is a big house. So when you walk in, you have the whole like decorated, like the big staircases that go in both directions leading up, and then plenty of rooms, the left and right. It is still very like it's a square, it's literally like a square grid, and then there is a second floor, and there is probably a basement, but you don't know yet. There's also like a porch, but there was nothing on it except like a chair that's obviously not being used. So, or is that what you call it when it's the second level? Is a porch? Anyways, the
balcony.
There we go, balcony. Thank you.
I got you.
Yeah. It's 3 a.m. Okay. And you walk in, and upon first glance, there's no one and nothing. You see the inside is even more decrepit, though. Actually, like the outside was okay-ish. The inside, yes, they're good.
Does it look like someone's living here?
Well, there are. You can do an additional. Is there like an equivalent of a spot check here? What would that be? Spot hidden is always the equivalent. Okay, so you could do a spot hidden. To see.
Are we all
more.
inside or just feardragon?
So feardragon told you guys to wait. It's up to you if you follow that or not.
Okay, no worries.
Terrible.
Fail.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it wasn't that terrible.
Yet?
It was close.
Huh?
Oh no, you pushed for one and you got a success from the push.
Yep.
I did.
When you bandaged yourself. Okay, so you have had one successful roll.
Yeah. No, I had 2 successful rolls. My very first roll was successful.
Oh
It's
right.
true.
Okay.
And staying
You started off so strong. You really did.
So you fail the spot hidden, but still, upon just like any glance, like you can see that the chandelier, like everything is dusty, everything is like really, really dusty, but even some things are like covered with something that looks kind of gross. You don't know.
Something sticky.
You can't even see yourself in the mirror anymore. The grand mirror that's on like the top of the first set of stairs, and they're just like everything's like been kind of turned over. The drawers have all been opened or somewhat shut, and then there's stuff in there. There's actually even dollar bills on the grounds that you could pick up if you wanted. And just notes everywhere.
$37.
Nice bait, but nope.
And to the left, you do see that there is a study. To the right, there is a living room. A bunch of useless rooms that no one really needs, but they still have. And then that's kind of all you see upon first glance. Up, you can kind of see the upstairs, but not really into the rooms. You just see that it's just more stuff, just boxes and books and canvases, oil painting cloths, stuff like that. And hold on here. I'm doing such a.
You're the best, ZombieGrub. Don't let anyone tell you you're not the best.
Oh, thank you.
I'd definitely be attracted to them canvases, them oil paintings.
Yeah, them canvases are hot as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they're really.
Huh.
No, I think they're quite cooled off right now.
Says you, kid.
Let's see here. Okay. No, that was later. Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. You do see bottles, tiny medicine bottles, kind of strewn around as well. A couple.
Okay.
All closed?
Oh, they're open and empty.
Open and empty. Do I know what kind of medicine they are?
You'd have to go up and look and pick it up.
Okay. Keep an eye on my surroundings. I'm gonna try and do this.
Do what?
Look at the medicine bottles. I said I was gonna try and do this, like, to look at the medicine bottles.
So there's one kind of close to you, not in the middle of the room, but kind of along the wall that creates the division to the other room. And you pick it up, and it does have the word. It's a heroin bottle, Bear heroin bottle. Good old Bear.
Oh, the heroin you give bears. Okay.
No. Yeah. Like Bear the. What is actually the pharmaceutical company? There we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just in case anyone's actually thinking it was heroin.
Right. No. We got there eventually.
As pointed out,
I was having a gaff. I was having a bit of a laugh. Sorry. I'm sorry, Keeper. Continue.
So in the 1920s, basically that just means that someone had like a fever or something, right?
Kind of, yeah. It was.
Crusher City says it's probably a mild cough.
Yeah. Okay. I take some and I keep moving.
It was a cough medicine for children.
Heroin?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 20s were lit.
Wow.
feardragon's character is like, someone has children.
Yeah, it must be some kids in this house. Some baby medicine, right? It's always the strong stuff.
Holy shit, it was.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What do you think
Damn,
I was
TIL.
Googling?
Okay. And pneumonia.
No wonder the Great Gatsby was such a great party.
And if you had sleeplessness, like... Okay. I think I just try and look just on the first floor to see if that's clear for the most part. How is like the first floor really big or?
Well, there are, there could have been doors to the rooms to the side of you, but not really, just partitions. So just maybe like a door and a half sized gaps, and then the wall that would kind of create the effect of a room, of a central gathering room. And then to the left is the study, and the right is the living room, I think is what I said.
Okay. I guess I'll go to the I think it's to the right, the gathering room.
So you're in the gathering, literally where people come in and they're mingling. The right is the living room, so it has couches and Well, not a TV, I guess. A radio. There you go.
Okay. I just basically want to check out, like, I guess, living room, then the other bigger partitioned area, and just like see if I see anyone immediately, and if not, then I'll go back to the other two and tell them, like, okay, doesn't seem like there's anyone home. It seems abandoned.
Okay.
If I don't see anything, I mean.
You go to the right, and in the living room, it is equally messy. You actually see beyond it. You can actually see that there's another room. That the door, there is actually a door to the room going backwards, kind of into the house, and it's open. So you see that leads into another room, another decoration room, basically. To the right, you can kind of see that there's a bathroom.
Takes a shot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
Shoot the bathroom.
Take the shot.
Further down, there's the opening to the kitchen that you see is also in just like, that's actually probably like the worst mess you've seen. There's knives and utensils all across the floor. You see it from a bit of a distance, but you can tell there is something that happened, some crazy party.
Okay. Yeah, I go back and I tell them, like, was no basically what I saw, and that seems abandoned.
Okay. You guys have anything to say to that?
We outside. We outside, right?
Yes, you guys are outside the door.
I'm starting
sort
to
of
shake like a leaf, actually. I'm getting nervous. Oh, I don't know where should we go.
So would you say that you've got chills and they're multiplying
Yeah, multiplying.
and you're losing control? I mean, is going in the house going to make you feel better though?
No, but that's the haunted house.
The haunted house?
I definitely don't want to be left out here alone though, so I'm kind of just gonna stick close to you guys.
All right, I'm just sort of I'm sticking my head in through the door, checking out what John's doing, but I'm sticking around with you because you're clearly like very upset and disturbed. And while I am a bit of a dick, I'm not that much of a dick.
Roll a listening roll. Is there something equivalent
Me?
to that? Yeah, as you stick your head in the door.
Sure.
Here's a listen.
I'm gonna listen so good. Here we go. Fuck. I listen really badly.
You're old.
I am a crusty old 35-year-old man.
All you really hear is some rats, which wasn't too surprising.
Ugh.
Blech.
Yucky.
Blech.
More abandoned, your ears or the mansion?
Huh. Come outside and say that.
Now, as you guys are deliberating, I suppose, outside of the door, you suddenly hear this huge, like, clang. All right, a door has been swung open, and you can kind of tell that it's from the balcony. Thank you, Maynard. It's from the balcony. Now, you're right underneath the balcony, so you actually can't see what's going on up there, but it's definitely apparent that it's coming from up there as you hear footsteps above you, and then you hear someone just yell, like they're angry, right? They're just like, ah! And they just throw a canvas just right out over the balcony, and it kind of does like a frisbee effect, and then it just falls flat.
I'm gonna rush over and try and pick that painting up to see what it is. Poor
In the haunted
canvas.
house? It could have been a ghost.
See, you rush over to the painting, though.
Outside.
It's a painting, dude. It's outside.
Okay,
Off the
it was thrown about, like, 15 feet from the house.
I
gonna
start
rush
getting out my rifle and assembling it.
Okay. So as Livy... Well, Maynard, what do you do?
I'm currently texting. Just give me a second.
Okay, well... feardragon starts to assemble his weapon, which I actually don't know how long that would take.
For an expert, probably a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna guess a minute. I was thinking of, like, watching, like, military movies, but then I'm like, but what about, like, a 1920 shotgun? Does that take
Well,
a
it's not a
minute?
shotgun. It's a rifle.
Rifle, whatever it was.
Rifle. Was it a 30? Let me have a look at it one.
It was a 30.
A 30-06.
30-06. Yeah, that's like one of them,
bolt action rifle.
Oh, it's bolt action. Jesus,
Yeah.
It's like a serious gun. You could actually put that together. That's probably in three parts. That's probably actually really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So Livibee's character Avocado runs out, and you hear, as it happens, you hear footsteps back into the house, although the door does not slam, but you hear footsteps again. She runs out to go collect the canvas, I guess.
Yeah.
And Amos, what do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm disturbed by the fact that there's like, someone around and they're throwing canvases around, and I mean, I'm not feeling like there's a threat coming from the painting that's been flung out the building that Avocado's running to, so I'm gonna run into the building and try and find out where the sound is going from and sort of like find John and what information have we got here? What are we working with?
Asking John.
Yes.
Yeah.
John, what the fuck was that?
I just look at the painting and I'm like, it was a painting. And then I go back to assembling the rifle.
All right, I'm gonna wait for him to assemble his gun, and then we're gonna go and search for wherever this noise came from.
Okay. Do you do so stealthily, or do you just kind of run in?
Stealthily. No, stealthily.
Oh, okay. All right. So do a stealth check with. Oh, I don't even know how to do advantage on this. You get 2 rolls, whatever. We're gonna do 5e.
There's a modifier thing in the bottom left.
I know, but I don't know what advantage is. Oh, you still got a success. Good.
That was me. But
Oh, damn it.
I assume we both have to do it, right? Because we're both.
I mean, yeah.
You're
there's
assembling
mine.
your thing.
Fucking rip.
Try again.
Okay. Come on, big money, big money, big money, big money. Fuck.
Push it. Push it.
You want little money.
Push it.
I want big money.
40%.
All right. So you're not so stealthily.
I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it.
Yeah, you're
This
kind
is
of
where I work alone.
big boots, just like exactly the sound he makes too.
Bump it up down.
No, I mean he tries to be stealthy, so it's a little awkward, but he's kind of a big guy and he's good at fighting, so I'm not sure he really is caring about it. So you you go up the stairs and you round, because it's one of those stairs that does a little like kind of curve, right, to actually get to the second floor. And there's 2 stairways. So there's the main stairway, and then the curved stairway on either side, right and left. So you can take either left or right. Doesn't matter to me. But as you take the curve, that's when you notice that a door is open and there seems to be more commotion coming from the room that leads to the balcony, which is right on top of you.
Okay. I'm trying to find this balcony, so I'm definitely heading up the stairs. Do you say left or right? Did you basically say?
Either one. Going left? Doesn't matter.
Either one. Do we have a floor map of said place?
Wouldn't you like it?
I actually would.
Yeah, I would. I would as well.
Cool.
Actually, I do have one. That's right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This definitely not. Oh God, I hate. It's definitely one thing I don't like about this, and that's
new programs, guys.
Oh, that wasn't the right one. Resize to small size. No, that doesn't work. This is not the mansion I considered using.
Oh, that's okay. We can just go by brain. We can make pictures in our brains. That's
okay.
Cool.
Oh, this is
so.
Oh, there we go.
I'm right-handed. Let's just go right.
Okay. So again, like you kind of, I don't know if you can see the one I have right now. I'm just gonna close that up anyways.
Can't see anything at the moment.
Okay. Well, have to determine how to do that in the future. I did have one planned for this session, but it's going actually pretty long, so we won't get there yet. We won't have the epic images to help out. So, again, like it just curves back. So as you curve, you see right into the door, there's multiple doorways, again, so many rooms, but you see the kind of the one right in the middle, right where you came in, right on top of that, is the door that is wide open, and you see like shadows moving about, and you hear more muttering and murmuring.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to. I mean, I've already failed my stealth check, so they know I'm coming. I'm assuming.
They were yelling.
They are there are continued murmurs.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get a peek without revealing myself. Like, say I'm seeing shadows behind a door or behind a window thing. I'd like to get a peek without revealing myself. A cheeky peek, as we call it, in the island where Avocado's from.
Okay, stealth check again.
Okay.
Should I be doing the peek?
No, you're too busy assembling your gun.
You're putting your stupid gun together, man.
I thought I assembled it and I was already made the stealth roll to go up.
Actually, yeah, weren't you meant to be with?
Yeah.
Are we together?
I thought he waited for me.
All right, you know what?
Oh, did you wait for him?
Yeah. I initially said that I wanted to wait for him to finish his gun, and then I failed a stealth check, so...
Oh, that's why you stealth checked. Okay. I thought you just, like, accidentally stealth checked.
Oh, no. I thought I was going with him.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, you've been... You have not been heard, to anyone's knowledge, I guess. I mean, even Maynard's not sure if he's been heard or not.
Even Maynard's not sure if I'm there.
Even me, the big bumbling idiot, stomping around, and like my foot's going through the staircase, like it's...
You both are under the assumption that you're still rather stealthed. It's just that, feardragon actually succeeded.
I'm gonna give him... I'm just gonna do, like, an eye look and assume that he knows what I mean when I, like, look... I'll look just... It's gonna be, like, so terribly done. I'm just gonna stare at him and assume, like, that's conveying that I will go look, and then I'll just go forward. If he doesn't understand it, then fuck it, I'll shoot him too. And then I stealth roll.
Okay, do the stealth roll.
To poke forward.
That was a fail, right?
I'm going to push it. Because I have a fucking 80%. And this shouldn't happen.
Let's actually go to the scene here.
Guys, chat. He rolled a 97. That's like a 3% roll.
Okay. I want to know.
Oh, there it is. There's a screen with that rolls on it. Oh my god. Check out this roll.
Literally, every single roll I have done today, I have had over a 60% to 80% chance at succeeding. Every single roll. And I have only succeeded in 2 rolls out of like 12.
Livibee had less than a 10%.
Livybee's been getting like the 5. No, not even. She's been getting like 5%.
Yeah, 10% in persuade and
roll.
getting fucking like 3s and 5s.
3 and 5% rolls.
This is
insane.
so stupid. All right, this is not even my fault.
This is like when we play ZombieGrub in that Mellow game.
This is like if I beat Elkie or something at poker. It's like it shouldn't happen.
Okay, so you push the roll. Something terrible's gonna happen.
Yeah, you fucked up. Dude.
You know, like banisters usually line stairs, and they line the upper level as well. Well, this is kind of like an old house, right? Not been really well kept either, and these rails are probably seen a couple of drunken fights and people tossed over them. As you do your little like eye contact thing with Maynard and just like shh. I'm just gonna like sneak over and kind of.
Not even that. He's like way less communicative.
Yeah.
I just stare at him.
Just stare at him.
I'm like,
and then you walk.
Okay, communicate.
And then you like you're literally like so stealthy. You're like kind of almost to the ground, and you kind of like use the banister to like do the little like peek around little thing, and then it just goes, and it brings you down with it too. So go ahead and roll like 1d3 damage. Just entirely, just like the whole piece just breaks off.
1d3 damage. How do I roll a d3?
I think there's actually a d3 at the bottom of the screen.
No.
Is there though?
There is physically not a d3.
Oh, there's
Actually,
not.
Yeah, because like the smallest dice that I can even think of is a D4. All right, I'll roll a 1d6 and we'll divide the number by 2.
You're right. I meant a D4, but still doesn't have a D4, does it?
Can you
Oh
just
no, that's a
like
D4. Yeah,
can you
that's a
backslash
D4.
roll?
I tried.
Does that work?
It doesn't work.
No.
No, do the
Whatever. I'm
do the
rolling
D4.
1d4.
Yeah. You take 1 damage.
Okay.
That's fine.
All
There's
right,
actually.
guys, I am losing more hit points than I would like to.
What would a D3 look like?
Dude, you lost 2 hit points. Don't know like characters have like 10 hit points?
We have not
Oh,
gotten.
This is
into a
actually
fight.
a fighting thing.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
not
You're
started.
like already on 80% life.
Yeah. So that makes a horrendous noise, by the way. One that even like Livibee hears. Her character is out there looking at the canvas at this point. She's caught up to it, and it's a canvas that's half done. But all you can see about half of the canvas is just black swirls, dark colors. What looks to be the beginning of a face or a person-ish thing. It kind of actually gives you a little bit of creepy vibes. You know, like, oh, have I seen this guy before? Is it a guy? Whatever.
Can I, before you describe what happens next, can I at least say that I have the composure to immediately aim my gun at the entrance of like the door from the.
So you're gonna accidentally crash onto the floor, and then your initial instinct is to point the gun somewhere?
It's gonna spin around like a cat. You know how cats' bodies can like
I
twist?
literally kill people for a living. My instinct is, okay, I'm down. Let's cover my bases so I don't get killed.
Okay.
You are a sick assassin, by the way. Everything I've seen today has definitely shown me that you're probably very, very good at what you do.
You fuck right off. Mister, I couldn't fucking do my job when my teammate literally injured himself to get the job done. Couldn't do shit.
Didn't
You
like
set a
that.
cigarette and killed, dude.
I'm not
I
really
didn't push.
sure.
I didn't roll for anything. I didn't push for anything. I just sat there.
Yeah, you didn't push for anything. That's right.
No, I didn't. Oh, okay.
Contributed nothing. All right. Anyways.
Sure if I did what you didn't say. Oh, I did a bagel roll. My bad.
He did a
Oh,
bagel
yeah.
roll, that's right. I would say do a dexterity check.
Okay. If I fuck this up, I'm done. All right. you guys are gonna wait 9 weeks, and then Olivia will take my place. Other Olivia.
Okay.
Okay.
Regular
Okay.
success. Okay, so
I have
you
a 70% chance of succeeding.
you appropriately contort your body so then you immediately point your weapon towards the entrance,
Okay.
and you also start to get up and still keeping your eyes locked.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a hard get out in 10 minutes time.
Okay, yeah, that's
I have
good.
I have to go catch a train. Sorry
Oh,
to say.
you can get off in 5 minutes.
Probably.
I was gonna say like at 3:30 we were gonna stop, but yeah. So, Livibee, what do you do? You picked up the canvas. You're kind of freaked out by it. It's giving you a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, reminding you of unpleasant times.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna take the canvas back to the house, but then rest it up against the wall because I don't want it to get further damaged. It is a canvas after all. I have massive respect for artwork. But I'm going to leave it behind and go inside with the other guys. I don't want to be left behind, especially not when it's starting to get dark outside. And, you know, when it's dark, I'm not going to be sticking around.
Okay. So as you walk back in, I mean, you kind of heard the crash as you're walking back in, and then you walk in and see that John is on the floor, poised like it's like a tiger, but still he crashed on the floor.
Yeah. He fell out of that balustrade like a fox.
Yeah. And Amos is up top. You kind of get a good read of things. You see that both of them are looking towards the entrance to on top of the balcony room, and you do get the feeling to be prepared. And I guess that's where we'll leave it.
Okay.
So before any actual potential fights happen.
Yeah.
Oh wow, guys, we are blue balling the fuck out of this chat right now. They're like, we watched a hospital scene for 3 hours. Someone tried to climb in through a vent, offer a cop a bagel, had an apple thrown at them. A guy cut himself twice.
Yes.
Cut himself once.
Cut
and
himself
then
once,
opened
then
the
ripped
wound.
off the band-aid
Yes.
that he
right.
himself had applied.
I think Blazer is Twitch chat right now after this first session of our brand new campaign. It's like, oh god.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So next campaign episode will be in 2 weeks. So that's like what, the 29th?
Yeah. Yes,
I mathed it.
you did it.
Did I do that correctly?
27th.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I did that correctly.
27th-ish.
Yeah. Anyways.
Just making sure it's not clashing with anything.
I think my math was totally wrong. So, yeah, look forward to that. The VODs will be up on my YouTube as well. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of time spent in that hospital. Good deal.
I had a great time, and I
tried
can't
to
wait to
fucking
be inside this house with all of my friends here.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sure all these guys will see you tomorrow. I'm sure Livibee will be streaming after this, and good times, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, ZombieGrub. Bye, guys.